Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the GGBL podcast. I'm your host, Goldglover9. You guys know me by now. If you don't, well, do you even know who's been talking in the commentary? How you guys been? How's your night going? Happy Wednesday. Podcast every Wednesday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you're new here, if you haven't been joining with the podcast lately, just to kind of give you a little bit of a rundown of what we've been talking about, what we've been covering. We basically like to go over statistics, standings updates, maybe a little bit of previews for the Friday streams that happen over on Twitch. And for those of you that are just maybe joining the podcast or this video after it's been posted who are new, Wednesdays are podcast days. Fridays are Twitch days on Twitch, or stream days on Twitch that we cover all the games. Well, not all the games, but basically 6 or 7 pretty cool, pretty decent matchups for GGBL play. Then we move to Monday, which will be YouTube highlight videos that get spliced up so we can see like what all happened in the league. Nice bite-sized video. The last one was an hour. All-Star game. Had to throw that in there. The Home Run Derby was an hour long. It's loaded, man. 30 teams is a lot to do, and it's a lot to cover. So, all right, let's get to the chat. See who's all in here. We got Portugal's in here. He's going to actually come on tonight and talk about some of these trades. We wanted to get Scott Fitzko in here. The GGBL reporter could not quite had some technical difficulties there, so couldn't quite get on. Got Corey Karhoff in. We got Procrastinator. We've got the Demotic Assassin Rebel Vader. Says, get hype, damn it. Sports Gaming Josh is in here. War Thunder Dude. Robin Hayes. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Thank you for joining in tonight. We're going to have fun tonight. This is a little bit different. This is going to be a little bit different of a stream because what we're going to do tonight is we are going to actually process all the trades and vote all the trades here tonight. So you guys in the chat get to fill out that Google form that I'm going to link here in just a couple moments. I'm going to try to bring on Portugal, Lucas, Amarillo, maybe some other people that might be in the Discord. That way I can get the audio to come into the stream. But basically what we're going to do is I'm going to reveal the trades. And then from that point, I'm going to link the Google form for you guys. And then we'll talk about it. We'll discuss the trades that are up on the board. And then we'll get your guys' votes in. I'll cut that off. I wanted to cut it off at 9:30, but because I got downstairs a little bit later than I wanted to, might have to cut that off at maybe like 9:45. So we'll cut it off then. We'll have a cutoff point. We'll see which ones were accepted, which ones were rejected. We'll process the ones that were accepted. And then the fun part kicks in tonight. Well, that should be the fun part. But the fun part B kicks in actually tonight, where we're actually going to simulate all of the month of August, which will be cool. Because then we get to really see, did those trades help or did they hurt certain teams, right? And then on Friday, we'll be doing this whole entire simulation of September with gameplay. So really we get to really look at what teams are making a push for the playoffs, what teams are out, what teams have fallen back. And really what we're doing there is we're actually speeding up the season by at least a week. So really what you're doing is you're actually bringing up the playoffs a week on schedule. So year 2 has been moving really quickly. I think we actually started year 2 in October. So we've gotten the whole entire season done in a month, which is awesome. But without further ado, let's go ahead and reveal all of those trades. Let me know in the comment section here too before I link that. Who do you think needs to make a trade? Do you think your team needs to make a trade? Take a look at the standings, because I have actually something that I want to reveal to you guys about these trade offers. And I kind of alluded to it a little bit here in, I think, a couple videos past, that it's really hard in the GGBL to make an argument that some teams needed to be left off of the trade book this season. Because when you look at the West, you have the Coyotes that are sub 500 right now, right? They're 2 games back from 500. The Defenders are 6 games under 500. Grizzlies 10 up over 500. They're 11 games back from the Knights. Those 2 teams definitely making moves. Coyotes still feel like they have a chance. They're 5.5 back. You can even scroll down here. The only teams that are really out of it would be the Moonshots, the Sting, and the Flight. So if you really want to look at sellers, these would be your sellers. Pioneers have to really make a decision on whether or not they want to buy or sell. Defenders are kind of in that mold, the Swing, maybe the Hatters, but really everybody in the league should be wanting to make a trade, at least on the NL side. Now for the AL side, this is where it gets really tight. Like look at the AL East right now, the Pizzaz up there, the Mallards making a push. They've won 11 games in a row the last time we saw them. Cardinals still in first place. The Rams are 3 games up. The Firebirds still holding on strong from the very opening week of the season. And then you look at the West, or you look at the American League or the All-Stars League wildcard race. The Breeze are 10 back. So even though they're 42 and 58, it's not like they're totally out of the picture. So every team across the league should be wanting to make a trade, but that's really hard to do. Because if every team wants to make a trade and they want to improve, they want to make a push for the playoffs, if everybody's got the same goal in mind, how do you balance that? How do you make sure that each side is getting something that actually helps them in return? So that's a little bit of a reveal there. I'm going to actually link to you guys now the link to the trade voting options. And we're going to go talk about those trade options right here, right now. And there it is for you guys in the live chat. So if you want to go fill it out and you kind of have an idea of how these players are performing and you kind of know what teams need, then feel free to do that. I'm not going to stop you. But if you want to hear some rationale, you want to have some fun with it, then I would suggest hang out with us, talk amongst the chat, debate amongst the chat, have that healthy, lively debate on what teams you think teams need to do. All right, so with that, we're going to talk about the first trade up on the board, which you can see in the Google form, by the way, which will be the Knights receiving Kyle Seager to the Philadelphia Flight, receiving Patrick Murphy, Ryan Velade, and Eric Pena. So that will be the first trade that we actually see up on the board. Now, you're probably thinking, Goldie, what you can't stand the LA Knights right now because they're so freaking good. Why do you want to give them Kyle Seager? Well, I look at it like this. You could either find any team that Kyle Seager would be a good fit for, right? You could do San Francisco, you could do Richmond, you could find a whole bunch of suitors for different teams for Kyle Seager. At a 79 overall player and a B potential and his attributes to where they are, the contact, the power, he's one of the best players in the league, which is kind of funny to say, but he is. So really, he could fit anywhere. But a team that's got the budget for him and a team that is in need of a third baseman at this point, I mean, Carter Kieboom has been playing well, but he's not Kyle Seager. He's not Kyle Seager. 297, 7 homers, 28 ribbies. He's fine, a potential young player, but I mean, this team is like ready to win it now. But you look at this trade, and I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to kick it off, and then I'm going to bring everyone else on, like Luke and Portugal, and we'll hash these things out. But when you look at this trade offer, Patrick Murphy's not the guy that really makes this. He kind of sweetens the deal a little bit. He's a 26-year-old, 69 potential player, but you can see that the repertoire here. Hard thrower, good curveball, good speed at the curve, good break on the slider as well. He's 6'5", 26 years old. He's a nice pitcher for this Flight pitching staff. And he's going to jump right in as a 69 and pretty much be on the first page. So he's going to be able to help them. He's going to be able to help them out. The one thing about shortstop, Ryan Velade, B potential, right-handed hitter, 6'2", plays good defense, pretty solid hitter across the board. Okay discipline. Speed is nice. hitting 316 at the GGBL level right now. And it just gives the Flight another young infielder. And, you might look at this and think, Goldie, I don't know if they need it. They're just going to start taking time away from some of these custom prospects. But we look at Manuel Linares. He's mostly a defender. You look at Xander Pollock. He's got some power, but not a lot of contact. And he's a pretty decent defender. You look at Zeal Jackson, mostly a defender. And mostly a speed guy. The contact, not really happening right there for the Flight's middle infield. Plus, considering that Velade can play third base, I think it's a pretty good move for him, because then you got Linares, Pollock, Zeal Jackson. You can basically kind of figure this whole thing out with them. And Velade will move to third base. Now, the other part of the deal here is Eric Pena, 18-year-old, a potential player, 6'3", good speed, good defense, decent contact numbers, and he hasn't played at the GGBL level yet. He should get an opportunity to try to do that. We look at the Flight's outfield with David Dahl, Gordon Rosens, Brett Phillips, Danny Santana, Christian Robinson, Griffin Conine. I mean, he slides in nicely, and he'll be able to play. He'll get in some time. He's 18 years old. He'd be the youngest player on the entire team, I believe. So, a lot of potential. I think the Flight are winning this deal. I do. I feel like they're winning this deal. But the Knights need a third baseman, and they need one of the best players in the league to really like solidify and get them over the top, and potentially win a GGBL championship. So, so far we've only got one vote in, so that's interesting to me. So, again, I'm gonna link that once more, and maybe you guys just want to hear the rationale first, which is cool, just fine. But I'm just saying, just one response in so far. So we are gonna process all the trades after we get done with the voting, right? So I'm gonna try to shoot for 9:45, maybe 9:50. Depends on how fast we can get through this. But currently we are sitting at about 14 responses total. I want to try to get to maybe like a good sample size would be about maybe 25, maybe even 22. I'll settle for 22 responses. But all right, let's move on to the next one, and we're going to bring in our guests coming up. And this will be, we're going to bring in both, actually. We're going to bring in Portugal and Luke from Amarillo. So welcome, guys. How are ya? Let me jump into Discord here. Welcome, guys. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Welcome.
Thank you. I've just woke up a couple of hours ago, ready for this podcast, ready to see what Seattle does, what the rest of the league does. Very interesting position we're in right now.
So Luke is actually joining us too. I want to make sure his mic is on. I want to make sure he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hear me?
Let's see. Try one more time. Let's see if we can hear you. Let him know in the chat if they can hear you. Yep, we got you.
Hello?
You're good, sir.
Oh.
All right, guys. Well, let's talk about some of these offers up on the board here. So the next one up on the sheet is Indiana. They are going to partner with Seattle. They're going to partner with the Seattle Emeralds. So we're going to move over here to the Rams and the Emeralds. All right, so for those of you guys that have already seen the offer, kind of have an idea of what they're going for here. But it's going to be the Emeralds at a 500 record. So here's the rationale here. Ready? They're 37-37. And in gameplay, they just have not done anything. In the playoffs, it's all gameplay. You need to be able to acquire some players that can help you in gameplay. So what do? You're a simulation god in most months. But this month was bad. You guys are now at 500. What is the problem here? What do you do?
You gotta make a trade, obviously.
Yeah,
Playoffs.
It's a big problem for Seattle right now because they're in a position where they are supposed to be sim monsters. They're second ranked, right? and they're not doing that as well. They're not winning games in sim, and in gameplay, they're even doing worse. They're probably, in my opinion, the worst gameplay team right now. It's
like
it's dire.
It's not even close to me. Like maybe you could argue that Richmond might be the worst gameplay because we don't. Because
big yourself. Come on.
I play my Royals franchise and I do well, and then I go to GGBL and I can't do anything. So I don't know what that is. But no, I would agree with you, Portugal. I would say that the Emeralds, for whatever reason in gameplay, they just can't get over the top. Kenneth Alexander Jr. hits home runs in the All-Star game, but he doesn't do anything for Emerald Green. Like I don't know what it is. So they're kind of in this weird situation where they got Ian Happ through free agency last season, luckily through the wheel spin. He's playing well for him. He's given him an offensive spark at 296 this year, 13 homers, 49 ribbies. He's a super utility man, infielder, outfielder. But he doesn't play that very well at defense. Accuracy's there, but the defense for an outfielder is not necessarily what you want, and this is what Seattle really needs, and they've needed that for a while. So you could go with kind of one or two trains of thought for Seattle. Either your pitching staff is going to give up a lot of runs, and you want some good offensive pieces to back that up, or you try to supplement it and help your pitching staff out. And I think when you've got a guy like Jason Dominguez, 18 years old, hitting 274, 6 homers, 27 ribbies, very good defender, and the contact and power numbers are not that bad, maybe you start giving him more of the opportunity. And maybe you move on from Ian Happ. Because the Rams, let's talk about what the Rams have an issue with. It's outfield depth and outfield offense. Adolis Garcia, one of the rookies of the year, right? Rookie of the year candidates in real life. But 237, not really getting it done. Dalton Varsho, hitting kind of a cold streak, but he's hitting 278. 7 homers, 51 RBIs. He's still going to play, but it's Dalton Varsho. Piscotty, 282, but he's only doing that in limited playing time. Heston Kierstad, a youngster. The attributes say he should be better than when he is. He's getting a -6 right now in the power against righties because he's not hitting, 215. So if you're Indiana and you've got this pitching staff with Syndergaard, Grayson, Port, Bridwell, Allen, both teams are going to try to make a push. Seattle's at 500. Rams are in second place in the Central. They need some outfield offense. Emeralds need some pitching to help them out. Trying to swap these two players here over is Bridwell and Happ. Now, Bridwell is actually playing pretty well here at 283. 76 Ks, 28 walks. And, honestly, with a guy like Matthew Allen coming up, he's at a 3.52. He can move from the bullpen to the starter. Bowden Francis can move up from a bullpen to a starter. Cole Wilcox could get the call from the AAA system up to kind of take that spot. He's currently pitching at 4.44 at the AAA level. So the Rams have a lot of depth. The Rams have a lot of depth. I had to mute Luke. I don't know what he's doing. The Rams have a lot of depth with their young pitching, and they can kind of afford moving on from a pitcher to an outfielder. They can basically swap. That's basically what you're looking at here. Bridwell for Happ, just kind of swapping those two players, and then Santos Sanchez, the young catcher. The Rams really need a young catcher. Take a look at this. This kind of sweeten the deal a little bit. 68A22. They don't really have that. I mean, they got Eric Haas, who's a good player in real life, but that's not this. And then, of course, since Emeralds are getting rid of an outfielder and they're getting rid of a nice prospect with Santos Sanchez, they're going to try to acquire Riley Green, who should have a lot more power than he does, but good contact, solid defense, hitting 244 in the minor league system. Basically it's role player for role player and then prospect for prospect swap. Try to give each team some depth. I like this trade. I think it helps both teams in their push.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts, Portugal?
Yeah, I mean the big thing here is Ian Happ for Parker Bridwell, and it's their replacements. With Ian Happ, you get I think it's Jason Dominguez. I don't know how to say it. Jason Dominguez. He's been kind of in that. They've been sweetening him up a bit to kind of take the role of center fielder, and is now Seattle is ready to give him that step up and become the full-time center fielder. And obviously, he's got great fielding stats, like you said. They don't need another catching prospect in Sanchez. They've already got Rushman, so why would you keep him around? Why would you? And for the Rams, Riley Green's kind of being blocked in by all this, pathway. And if you're going to try and acquire Ian Happ, there's no reason to keep Riley Green. And Seattle is in desperate need of a outfielder prospect. I believe they only have Dominguez right now. And for Parker Bridwell, they're probably going to replace him with, was it Wilcox? Is that the starting pitcher?
You can move Allen up from bullpen, Francis up from bullpen, and then Wilcox can come up from AAA. But yes, I agree with you that when you look at this, if Riley Green had a chance, I mean, let's talk about that real quick. So if Riley Green had a chance, it's a potential player, but so is Sanchez.
Yeah.
Where Sanchez now has a clear path to play with Indiana. He doesn't have a basically you're both these players, Sanchez and Green, they don't have a pathway to play right now. I mean,
they're stuck.
Sanchez is stuck by Rushman. Green is stuck by Varsho and Garcia. I mean, you basically, and even Keston Kierstad as well. I mean, do you make the argument to try to play these guys? Yeah, eventually, but in order for Riley Green to get to a 72, he's gonna have to play this year. He's gonna have to play all of next year. Not the worst thing in the world for Indiana, but they don't really have time to waste for that, in my opinion. So
no,
I think the trade helps them now, and those two prospects help them in the future for sure.
Yeah, just last second thoughts on Seattle is that the Happ trade is good for both teams. That Happ, the Happ part of it is so huge because with Seattle, they have 3 DHs, if you think about it, Calhoun, Happ, and Jumbo Candyman. So getting rid of one of those to the Rams, who I don't think they have much power, that could be very huge for the Rams in terms of a playoff push, maybe getting to the GGBL championship, and really the Emeralds just to reset and, fix their defensive issues once and for all.
All right, cool. Well, that's your offer, guys. Make sure you vote on that one, and then we're going to move on to the next trade, which will be Atlanta and the Firebirds. So Atlanta, the Sting are going to partner up with the Firebirds, and I think you guys might know what's coming here. So we've got Tim LeCastro for the Sting, along with Derek Dietrich. So the Firebirds are really trying to capitalize on the offense that they've had so far this season. And you could make some arguments that the Firebirds need a catcher. I would be all in favor of that. But when this trade kind of came to my mind, I'm looking at this offer and I'm thinking, I still have these little sneaking little reservations about Phoenix's offense. I mean, when we look at it, you got Pineda here, obviously the starter. Nunez is a good player. Barreto's not even on the team right now. Fuentes, Mendoza, Pedro Alvarez, Devers, Winker, Stowers, Siri. It's a team that obviously has proven me wrong big time. But when you look at the lineup and you start thinking it analytically, and you start thinking, is this going to actually come through in the clutch when it matters the most? What does this team need on offense more than anything? I think it needs a little bit more depth, which is why Derek Dietrich is in this mix, and he's going to provide them some power coming off the bench. I don't think he's going to play every day, but he's a guy that provides them a little bit of depth as a pinch hitter. And then you've got an outfielder with Tim LeCastro who provides them some speed, which they don't really have a lot of. And he's going to be able to hit as well. 79 contact and against righties, but totally dips down there against lefties to 46. But yeah, I mean, sitting 248 right now, a homer, but 27 stolen bases. doesn't strike out a whole lot. He's a nice player, pretty good defender as well. And the Firebirds, I mean, the Sting are selling. they're selling. They're not doing anything this year. They're done. So you might as well try to get rid of LeCastro and Dietrich and try to get your prospects up here like William Murphy, a custom guy. He can actually get some time now. Plus at first base, you can give that job to Joey Meneses. You can even call up like Bryce Ball, or I mean, there's other players here too that can play first base. I think Leroy can't. Toribio can't either. Kiner Falefa could have been on the block, but he's actually locked up for another 2 seasons. So, shortstop's a hard position to fill. But yeah, there's options for the Sting, but what they need back, what the Sting need back is, again, so you're getting rid of Dietrich. You got Meneses at 29. Ball is down here to 23. Lewin Diaz, 6'4", first baseman, playing for the Marlins, obviously in that photo. And his attributes are not that bad either. Like he's going to be a nice little project player for him, but he's relatively young. He can step in and contribute. That's one piece of the trade. They're also going to try to go after Jose Siri, which is a 25-year-old C potential player, but offensively he's going to provide them a little bit of a spark as well. Good defense, good speed. I think Siri's a nice little player. And then to sweeten that deal, they're going to acquire this player here, a 20-year-old C66, Samuel Villasmil, 95 fastball, splitter change, slider mix, 20 years old. Decent break, but the velo's obviously what catches your eye about this guy. Stamina is solid as well at a 65. He can go as a long reliever instead of just a setup guy, but he's got the stuff that can make this work. And again, when you look at the Sting, what they're getting rid of here, it seems like, oh my God, LeCastro and Dietrich, it's way too much. They're not getting enough back in return. Well, you think about it, it's 32-year-old Derek Dietrich, and it's Tim LeCastro, who's literally kind of like a one-trick pony. And you're getting back a 20-year-old 66 pitcher. It's all relative. GGBL, it's all relative. He's going to be a contributor today. Jose Siri is going to be a contributor today because you're getting rid of LeCastro. And then, of course, at first base with Lewin Diaz, he's going to be your starting first baseman. So really with the Sting, the youth movement is on full effect. Thoughts, Portugal?
Forza, Firebirds definitely need Tim LeCastro. That's such a big acquisition. It's kind of a win now move from them. They know what Seattle can become. They know what other teams in the division. I think Santa Fe, they're starting to, really get into it. Las Vegas, they've kind of maybe not been as, there where we thought this season. I think they're like third or second. We thought they would be in first. So this could be a season where the Firebirds, for at least maybe the next 2-3 years, they don't get. This you've got to capitalize on this great early start. And you have to get Tim LeCastro to add to your outfield, and just to the defense, to the speed, to the hitting. It's a good trade for them, and getting Derek Dietrich is a great bat to have. For Atlanta, they're in a division with the Blue Sox and Richmond. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they've got Philadelphia as well, which is the worst team in the GGBL. But then you also got Miami, who, if they did a bit better, I think, they could be a GGBL championship contender. So, going full into not, I want to say reborn mode, but going younger and just waiting for that chance to, strike at those teams like Philadelphia is doing, I think is really smart. And I think this trade makes a lot of sense for both teams where they're at. And I think, I just think this is a good trade in general and a fair trade for both, and, how both organizations are viewing their situation right now.
The one thing that you said something, you threw that in there, which is a really good point, that they're going up against teams like Richmond, Miami, Carolina, and it's like, if what we're doing right now is not working with the players that we have here, we literally have to scrap the whole thing, acquire these prospects, and hopefully it all sticks. I think that's a really, I think it's a good move for the Sting and the Firebirds too. Plus, think about it, if the Firebirds are actually contenders, they're going to have to eventually face either Carolina or Los Angeles. If those two teams make it into the finals, and the Firebirds get there, I don't think against their pitching staff, against those two teams' pitching staff, and especially against LA and Carolina's offense, they need to be able to hang with those teams. And I think getting a guy like LeCastro can cause some pressure on the base paths, play good defense for the pitching. I think it's a good move for Phoenix if they're ready.
And I would watch out for those two teams as well. The NL is so stacked. It's crazy, And if the Sting don't do this trade, I think they're going to be stuck in limbo, and Philadelphia will pass them. And in a couple of years, they'll be like, "Why didn't we make this move? We're last in the division. We didn't go young when we could have." So, yeah.
All right, so we're going to move on to another NL East team. It's going to be the Miami Moonshots and the Las Vegas Nuggets. So currently the Nuggets are in second place, right behind the Firebirds in the AL West. And when we just look at what the teams need, let's take a look at what the teams need first. And with the Nuggets, we've talked about this. This is well documented for them. They need like a bona fide ace of this staff because they don't really have it. They got Jamie Barria here, Wentz, Marquez is their up-and-comer. He's a 73. John Duplantier, Robbie Dagies, Domingo Robles. They've got some decent prospects there, some decent pitchers that can give you innings and give you quality innings, but they don't have the guy. Dallas Keuchel can be that guy, the lefty that comes over and really puts this pitching staff over the top. They are totally missing Johnny Cueto. Last season when they had Cueto, he was lights out for the Nuggets, and him going to free agency and going to Wisconsin, has really left a little bit of a hole here for the Nuggets team. So if they can get a guy like Dallas Keuchel from a team that's in Miami that's selling a little bit, I think it would be a good trade for them. What they have to give up, though, is they got to give up some prospects for Dallas Keuchel because, this is a player that is very well valued across the league, and they got to be the best bidder, basically. So Malcolm Nunez is going to be one of those players that leaves. Decent contact numbers for GGBL level. Got to work on the defense a little bit if he's going to play third or first. Maybe first base is more where he fits instead of third because of the fielding there. But he is young, a potential player. And then O'Neal Cruz is being blocked by Antony Flores, Arcia, who's actually playing third right now for this team. And then, of course, Nelson De La Cruz, the Patreon prospect, 77A. You can see the contact, the defense, the speed. Like, he's got it all. Rookie season this year, 296. There's no way that you're calling up O'Neal Cruz at any point in time to take over his job from him. So, for Miami, it's like, what are you getting back? You're getting back these two infielders here. Which Nunez can play first base. You're getting a little older here. You're hoping that Prado can kind of come up and do some things, but really it's Singe. I'm totally brutaling that. Sinagi? I don't know. Ryan Healy, he's doing all right at 30 years old at 299. Definitely a big power bat, 18 and 56. But you want to get a little younger there, so that's Malcolm Nunez for you. Now, as for O'Neal Cruz, where does he fit in? Zhu Weilin, 27C, it's almost like you know what you're going to get for this guy. His career's kind of already panned out. Xavier Hawkins can play second a little bit there, but he's mostly an outfielder, shortstop. If you can play short, you can play second. But really, what you're doing O'Neal Cruz here for is the potential. He can play third, left-handed hitter. Look at the contact. Look at the hitting numbers across the board. That will play at GGBL level. And he's currently hitting 244 in the AAA system. So I feel like it's a good move for both squads. What do you guys think in the chat? And what do you think, Portugal?
So I remember, I'm just looking back at my, what I voted for. I disapprove this trade, so I'll play devil's advocate here. I know Dallas Keuchel. I noticed when you were scrolling through, Dallas Keuchel is in his last year of his contract.
Yep.
He's 34 years old, so he's going to probably regress. And Las Vegas, you obviously want to win the division, but do you sell that many prospects to get Dallas Keuchel? I know how big Johnny Cueto was. He was such a big part last year, and you're trying to fill that void. But do you try and win now when you can just wait maybe a year for it and let those guys develop, especially a guy like, Braylon Marquez to kind of be maybe your ace of the future? So, I'm torn because I can see why these teams would do it, but if I'm the Las Vegas Nuggets, I don't know if I would take it just because of Keiko's contract situation and his age. Is he going to be past it by next year?
I think
So
when
yeah,
you think about it, so I'll do the flip side just to give the devil's advocate, just have a little bit of a rebuttal here.
yeah,
If you do this move, you have to think of it also as this is not the only offer that the Moonshots are getting for Keuchel. When you've got teams across the league saying, "Here's what we want to give you for Keuchel because we want to make that playoff push," you got to come away with the best offer. You got to come away with the offer that's going to blow the other teams out of the water in order for the Moonshots to accept it. So, given that, 2A potential players, are the Nuggets going to be able to make that move? I think they should. But that's so to your point. It's a very good point. You're only getting Keuchel for a year. That's it. But that's the going rate for a lefty veteran 78 who's one of the best pitchers in the entire league. So
yeah, I'm kind of I can see you trying to go for old guys. I'm more of like I like the young guys. I like keeping the young guys or trading for young guys. I see potential in them, and I don't like winning now unless you're kind of like a Carolina or an LA or a team like that. If you're first in the division, that's why I agree with Phoenix, is because LeCastro was needed. That was a position they absolutely needed, and I don't know if they're going to have a window like this again. So, that's what I'm going to play at. Is if you accept this trade, you're going to lose prospects for the future. You could win a World Series, a GGBL championship. I think last year we saw Carolina. They traded, I forget who, but they traded somebody away to get a piece, and that won them the GGBL championship. I know you can remember that.
who's that?
And
Carolina?
He ended up being good this year. So maybe you risk it, and those guys can end up being good, but you win the GGBL championship this year. And a GGBL championship is above all, I'd say.
Are you talking about Carolina?
Yeah, it was Carolina.
It was Jeff Samardzija. They got him from Minnesota.
And they traded like the shortstop.
All right, guys, we're going to move on to the next one here. We are maybe halfway finished, so we're going to move quickly now. Most of these trades now are like 1-for-1s. So, again, with the trades that are up on the board here for voting, again, a lot of these teams are in playoff contention. So what they're trying to do is they're not necessarily trying to sell the farm per se. They're trying to actually find ways to sell some of their depth in some positions to actually fill holes in others so that they kind of can maintain that playoff push. So basically give everybody a chance to try to make the playoffs. But let's talk about this next one. We've got the Coyotes and the Maples teaming up with each other. So this is kind of an interesting combination. I really want to see these two teams play in a gameplay. That would be fun if it ever gets there. But obviously when we're talking about the Maples, it's a bad team right now. There's not a lot going for them right now. I mean, you can see the catching position is old. Winston Sawyer, Heineman, Thoreau. It's old right now. You got Hernandez at a 63, 20-year-old. That's kind of tough to make a point to start a guy like that. First base depth is not good. You got Matt Justice here, who's a good player for them, but Kevin Kramer's getting up there as well at 28. Josh Jung, youngest player on the team as far as starters go, at 22A, 72. Terang, 73B. At 21, Seth Beer is in the middle of his prime right now. Aiden Oliver, he's the youngest player with a 21A, 77, and Terang is the youngest there as well. But yeah, so they've got a weird mix of young and old right now, and they went out. They had a decent season last year, and they went out and they acquired Johnny Cueto in the free agency period. And when I look at Wisconsin, I see a young pitching staff that's just trying to find their way. Right, and maybe Johnny Cueto signed that deal, and he's helped them out for a little while, and now it's just time to sell Cueto off and try to acquire something else that can, these guys like Manoah, Adams, Wentz, Gonzalez, Pearson, Molly, they've picked his brain enough to where they can move on from him. So they're gonna go out and they're gonna trade him to the Coyotes, which Johnny Cueto's probably thinking, you're going to send me out to that freaking ballpark and get absolutely obliterated. That's what you're going to do? But the Coyotes absolutely need a guy like Johnny Cueto, because right now, you look at Lucchese's numbers, they're really good, 2.79. McKay's are terrible, 6.2. Chad Kuhl, terrible, 5.2. Nick Lodolo's been okay, 4.1. De Los Santos has been great at a 3.4. And then Jared Schuster in the back end of the bullpen there, or the arm barn, 5.82 as a middle reliever. They need some help in that 3-4-5 in their pitching staff, and I think Johnny Cueto is going to help them. But what do you give up to the Maples, who obviously need some youth? They need some help there. They're going to go out. They're going to go give up Ali Sanchez, a 23-year-old 70 overall catcher. So they get younger at catcher. Sawyer comes to a backup role now. And here's Sanchez's numbers. He's going to be a solid hitter for him. Good defender. AAA stats right now, 249, 9 homers, 25 ribbies. He's productive. You could have made the argument that you could trade Luis Campusano, but, the Coyotes are in the middle of a playoff mode, and they don't want to give up their backup catcher. They're just not going to do that. So the Maples, on the other hand, they just got to accept whatever comes their way for a guy like Johnny Cueto. He's not one of the best pitchers in the league right now, so at a 73, so he's kind of expendable. So what else do you get? You actually are going to go out and you're going to get a guy like Jalen Miller. So a 23-year-old 71. He also is making $1.1 million. So the Coyotes are trying to play, cap shedding a little bit as well. So this player is actually being held back a little bit. He's sitting here behind Asturi Ruiz, Moroff, Yanni Hernandez. He's just sitting behind a bunch of these guys at the AAA level, and he's a good hitter, man. Look at the contact, 66. He should be playing. He's actually hitting 263 at AAA. He's got some good hot zones, so in gameplay he would be good for Wisconsin. And again, they need a young second baseman. You've got Carlos Herrera there. They got Caden Polkovich, Kevin Kramer again's getting older. 221. He was a good player in year one for him at 233, double digits in homers. But yeah, I think this is a good trade. It's kind of a little package deal. What do you guys think in the chat? What do you think, Port?
Very probably the most conflicted trade of the whole lot that we'll go through. Cueto is a good pitcher. We know that. We saw it last year, and we know how missing he is from that Las Vegas Nuggets lineup. The only thing I'm thinking of is you obviously got to get Cueto to get into the playoffs. That's a must for Colorado. That's why they're acquiring this guy. And you're not giving up that much in terms of potential in Sanchez and Miller. I'm just thinking Cueto's regression by next year is that going to be worth it? But at the same time, Sanchez and Miller, you got to offload because I don't see a clear pathway for them. So it's kind of, I don't know. I'm conflicted about this one because I think Cueto by next year is going to be maybe not the best, and by year, in the next 2 years, he'll probably be in the minor leagues. So it's hard because then you see Sanchez and Miller, and it's like you got to get rid of those guys because they don't have a pathway. Sanchez is blocked completely, and Miller,
he's completely blocked. Percy Burnside, Campusano. Yeah. There's just there's no way you're playing him.
So I think I would take this trade, but if I was a vote, I'd be careful knowing what Cueto could become next year.
And I think that's one of the things too with Cueto because he's under control. You've got McKay, all your pitching staff's under control. Take a look at this. So Lucchese, McKay, Kuhl, Lodolo, and De Los Santos are all under control. If Cueto regresses that badly, which he probably will, you can move him to the bullpen. I mean, he's 36. He'll be 37 at that point if he doesn't retire. So yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. You're giving up depth pieces for a guy that can help you now. And you're going up. Ultimately, you're going up in the divisional games here in the next, August and September. You will be facing San Francisco and Los Angeles.
And Los Angeles, yeah.
You got to win as many games as you can if you want to have a chance for the playoffs. And I think Johnny Cueto helps him in that run.
Yeah, you've turned me there. I think I do this trade. Just because of the bullpen. I forgot about you can make him a bullpen arm, but
yep.
I mean, you're never going to use Sanchez and Millen, the Coyotes. Why not give it to the Maples, who maybe could use him? With Sanchez definitely for the Maples in terms of catcher. They only have Winston Saura, so yeah.
All right, so next trade up, we're going to be sticking with the NL West. We're going to look at the Grizzlies and the Heat. So two teams that I love right now. I love the Grizzlies. I love the Heat. If I had to pick right now, I want the Heat to make the playoffs, number one. I want them to win the whole freaking thing. That
Heat's
walk-off.
the surprise of the season.
Seriously.
Like, they are the surprise of the season, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad.
They're having a 2006 Detroit Tigers feel to them. You know what I mean? they are totally capturing the hearts of everybody out there, and it's just awesome to see.
Yep.
So I think this trade it's one of the one-for-ones that we're going to talk about here. Again, just two teams just trying to fix up some depth and fill in certain holes on their squad. So let's talk about the Heat need first, and then kind of why they're making this move or trying to make this move. So we know what the Heat, they have a really, really good pitching staff, one of the best in the league. I know we talk about Phoenix a lot. We talk about who else has a really good staff. I'm drawing a blank
Phoenix?
here. Yep, Phoenix for sure. But there's another team that's got a really good staff. It escapes me right now, but there's at least one more team. Columbus has a really good staff.
Yeah. Right,
but
yeah.
The Heat with Singer and Peralta, like that's one of the biggest 1-2 punches. San Diego, Marco Gonzalez and Tony Gonsolin, those two players at an 80+.
Yeah.
Then you throw in Robbie Ray the vet. You got Josiah Gray pitching well. Margavicius is only got 3 losses on the year. He's 12-3.
Oh yeah, he's been amazing.
He's been great. You got Yuri Rodriguez as a reliever. Frankie Freeman's a reliever. All these guys are pitching well. And then you got Dakota Chalmers just kind of sitting around and hanging out at AAA level. He's pitching well, 2.72, 1.1. The thing with this move is if you're Nashville, you could move up Dakota Chalmers for a struggling relief pitcher. That's something you could do. But when I look at the Heat and I see them in gameplay and I watch them and I think if Logan Morrison isn't having the type of season that he's having, are they even close? Are they even close to the playoffs or where they're at? 21 homers, 57 ribbies, 295 for Lomo. Andrew Vaughn's playing really well, 281, 11 homers as well. Demetrius Edwards-George, dynamic offensive player, great offensive player. And then you got JT Riddle, who's on a hot streak right now. And he just obliterated a baseball in gameplay the other day. But he's hitting 229. And he's been streaky. So I look at Nashville and I think that they need another hitter. They need another hitter. And with Will Till kind of taking over that third base job and Jason Vossler just not really playing that much. He's 27, a C. Solid defenseman. 234. He's a righty. No, he's a lefty actually. Lefty hitter. JT Riddle's a lefty hitter. You basically move on from Jason Vossler for Chalmers because then now you're giving JT Riddle a possible rest day here and there, and you can kind of swap these guys in and out. Why do the Grizzlies need a pitcher? Well, other than Tyler Glasnow, who's actually been decent, he hasn't been as good as he should be. He's down to a 90 right now. At a 3.2, Chirinos has been great, 2.3. But then you get down into the 3.45 with San Francisco, and you get Luke Rennie at 3.5. Hunter Green at a 4, Tyler Beat at a 4.5, Eric Swanson at a 4.6, David Hess in relief at 2.3. It's one of those trades that just I think it helps both squads. I think it gives the Heat an extra hitter. It gives the Grizzlies an extra pitcher. That kind of helps them along the way. What do you guys think?
I'll just put my thoughts in here. This is the most this is probably out of all of them the trade that makes the most sense. I'd say yes to this because it's just adding depth and, Dakota Chambers, Vossler. It just makes sense putting them off. Vossler's never going to get past, Till. Dakota Chambers is never going to get past, Peralta, Singer, Ray, Margevicius. That's just not going to happen. So, it's a great depth move for both teams. I mean, I can't really add more to that because I just think it just makes a lot of sense to me. It makes, I think both teams definitely look at that and just say, let's make a deal here. This is pretty easy.
Sending a message in Discord, but yeah, I heard you, Port. I think it does make it. It's an easy trade to make, and with Dakota Chalmers at 25 and Vassar at 27, it's not like you're 70-71, both guys under control. It's not like both teams are getting jobbed here or anything. So I think it's a good trade for both squads.
Yeah.
All right.
Agreed.
Let us move on to the next one. We've got a NL Central team and an NL West team. So the Defenders and the Maroons. Now this was a trade that I went through like 4 hours one night, just tinking around and looking at like what trades would make sense for certain teams. And the one that I came to was this matchup, kind of made in heaven here a little bit, was Abraham Toro for the Maroons. And for the Defenders, Jake Arrieta. It's a weird trade. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's a very weird trade. And I look at this one and I had to really convince myself of it, but the more that I did, it made sense to me. Because the Maroons, we just watched them give up a ton of home runs against the Nashville Heat in gameplay. We watched them in the GGBL playoffs last season. Their bullpen struggled big time. And it does seem like every time we watch the Maroons in gameplay, they have issues with that back end of the bullpen. So when I look at this move, I'm literally looking at Jake Arrieta, who's 36, but don't be fooled. 305 this season. He's been kind of moving in as a flex guy. He's been a starter. He's been a bullpen guy. He's got 2 saves, 2 holds, 115. So he's been kind of jockeyed around a little bit with San Diego. And with this move for the Maroons, it's not like you're going to play Abraham Toro. They're not even playing him anyway. He's got 18 games so far this season. And if you're San Diego, what does Jake Arrieta really do for us right now? Being 7 games back, what does Jake Arrieta do for us? Not much. Not much, because you've been kind of flexing him out. If you trade Abraham Toro over to the Defenders, they're getting an immediate starter now over Davis Wenzel, and Toro provides the pop, and he gets on base. I know that he's got 216, but I don't think he's had enough time to play. He got 60 power, 59 power, 70 vision, 54 discipline, good defender as well. I think he's a good player, and he steps right in and plays right over Davis Wenzel. What is Davis Wenzel doing for San Diego? Look at the numbers there. Would you take him over Toro? I think I'd take Toro. He's got the A potential too. So it's not like Davis Wenzel's getting like pushed out of a job. I think he would end up playing at some points in time. But I think you get Abraham Toro in the mix, got him under control, and I think it just helps San Diego's offense a little bit more because Wenzel's at 250, and I believe that if you gave Toro the job, I think he would produce similarly. But this is a team that doesn't have a lot of power as it is. Virgil Underhill has 15 home runs. Scope has 10. Needs to be a little bit better there. You've got shortstops that don't do much with Royce Lewis and Eddie Alvarez, and Cole Tucker doesn't have anything. Brian O'Grady's got 13 home runs, so that's okay. Oops, I keep hitting that button. Swihart's got 3. So, yeah, I just look at the Defenders, and I think if they're going to be able to hang, and again, it's just one of those things where if you're in the NL West, it's inevitable. You're going to have to play the Coyotes, the Knights, the Grizzlies. You're going to need a little bit more offensive help. So, I don't know. I don't think this is going to make or break them, but I think it gives them a better chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a easy trade if you look at it on paper and say, no, because Toro's got A potential, Arrieta's 36. But when you actually, like you said, when you think about it in more depth, teams around the league know Toro's value. Wendell and Donovan are above him. So Arrieta is obviously old, but he's posting up good numbers. So it's really do you? It's really. Do you? Can you offload Torah? Can you offload Torah at another point and get something better? I don't think you can really, because of how teams. This is why they've got this offer, is because teams don't. They know he's basically worthless to the Maroons. He'd be really big. I think he'd be big as an M's fan for the defenders. I've seen him play live. So it's a very hard trade in depth. I think it's easy on paper. You actually have to look in depth. I think I'd actually give it a yes. I'm a young guy, but I think Toro is just being blocked by Donovan and Wendell, and I know Arrieta's 36. It's.
It is.
I think it's a trade you got to make.
It's a tough call, but I mean, when you look at basically to your point, he's basically worthless to them at this point because you got Wendell who's playing. I think Wendell's playing second base right now. Donovan's playing third, I believe. These guys can play anywhere. So Wendell can play second, third. Donovan can play anywhere, second, third, short. Plus, you've got Strumpf in here who's not really playing. Abrams is playing, so he's totally blocked as well. So I think it makes sense for both teams. I think for the Maroons, it probably makes more sense for them than it does for San Diego. But to throw the bone to San Diego, you're getting rid of a 36-year-old pitcher for a prospect at an A that's going to jump in and help your offense. So I think it's good for both squads.
I think San Diego will win this trade, but I don't think the Maroons, if he turns out to be something in San Diego, the Maroons won't be that peeved off because they've got Donovan, Wendell, Schrumpf, Abrams. They've got all those players there.
And that'll definitely be interesting to watch too, is see what ends up happening with those trades. Does Toro become a big time player in the GGBL, and is St. Louis gonna regret that?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, next one. We're gonna move a little bit quicker here now for these next few, but this is a big one. Chicago. I want to dive in about Chicago before we start moving quicker. This is a team that is 10 games back of the wild card race. Are they out of it? Not necessarily. Is this trade going to signal that they're out of it? Not necessarily. I look at their pitching staff and I think, what the heck is wrong with this? Because Garrett Cole is a boss, right? 3.15. Yamamoto actually had a really good year last year, 3.58, even though he was 8-13. He's got a 4.01 right now. Mason Thompson's been terrible, 5.09. He was bad last year too, I guess, 5.09. Griffin Roberts, 4.88 and a 5. Wojciechowski was god-awful, 6.48 in 9 games started. He moves down to the AAA level, and he's got a 107 and a sub-1 whip. If we do this trade, either if we don't do this trade or not, he's getting called back up. Wojciechowski will get the call back up there for the Breeze. You got Connor Fisk at an 8.03 down, for MLB, for GGBL. He's got a 4.08 and a 1.4, so he had to get moved down. Michael Jordan at a 4.33. He's been okay. He's been solid.
Yeah.
So something's wrong with the pitching staff, right? Yes. What good does Roberto Osuna do you if you can't even have a lead going into the 9th inning? Right? And he's a 90 overall, and there's a bunch of teams going to be picking up that phone and saying, we need a legitimate lockdown closing pitcher. And one of those teams is going to be the Michigan Mallards. Because when you look at their pitching staff, it's the tale of two different teams here. The Mallards are insanely good at pitching. Justice Sheffield turning his season around. He was doing very, very poorly this year, but now in this 11-game winning streak, Michigan's really picked it up. He's now down to a 3.8. Keegan Aiken, it's been good, 3.8. Ollie Finger, 4.1 as a one-year pro. Seth Johnson, 4.02, has been solid. Morajan, now as a starter, it's a 2.85. Garrett Launchbaugh, as a reliever now, he's been moved to the bullpen. He's got a 4.2. Matt Manning, in the bullpen, he can be a starter. He's a 3.4. DL Hall at a 5.4. So you look at this pitching staff, it's absolutely loaded. And then that's not even considering the actual bullpen pitchers back here, like Poche, Clevenger, Altavilla, and then Stock. Dude, if Michigan can pull this trade off, they've effectively made a 9-inning baseball game to 6 innings. That's hard to beat. So if they can get a guy like Osuna, you're going to have to give up something, obviously. So who are they going to give up? Well, the thing with the Breeze is they don't have anything going for him offensively. They got nothing right now. Will Banfield, 263. Herman, 247. No pop. Rangel Ravello, 284. 11 homers. He's been mostly their offense, along with Rowdy Tellez at 319. Xavier Edwards, hoping to get something out of him, 215. Alec Boehm, got to get something out of him, right? Contact only, 6 homers. Danny Mendick, 15 homers, which is surprising. That's a career high for him. Ethan Letterman, 19 homers, 75 ribbies. He's their best hitter. Bar none. Ethan Letterman's their best hitter.
Yeah.
But
Custom.
yeah, how about the outfield? Yoenis Cespedes, right? 71 years old. He's basically 71. 205. 205. 5 home runs. 5 for Yoenis Cespedes. Gabriel Maciel, 222. Scott Hurst, 260. 2 homers. Bubba Starling, 5 homers. Philip Irvin, 2 at a 191.
No power.
They got nothing. They have nothing right now, which is why Daniel Palka is going to be offered in this move. You see his power numbers, 61-61, and currently with 9 home runs, he would automatically step in as one of the leaders on the team in home runs in the outfield.
Yeah.
And this is a player that ever since the call-up of this guy, Robert Hayes, remember him? He was a June call-up for Michigan. Ever since this dude's call-up, he's got 7 home runs and 28 ribbies in 50 games in 319. So he's basically taken the job of Daniel Palka. But they're not done yet. They need some offense. They need some hitters. And they're going to go out and they're going to go get Adam Kloffenstein. And this guy is going to step in immediately. A 7-footer, decent pitch repertoire. And he's just going to provide a little bit more depth in a struggling pitching staff for a guy like Roberto Osuna.
Yeah.
Giving up a top 50 prospect. Michigan giving up some power that they're kind of giving up on this bat a little bit. I like this trade for Chicago. I like this trade for Michigan.
Yeah. It's hard for... I know it's going to be hard for Chicago fans parting ways with Osuna, but this is probably the best value you're going to get. Polka could really, revive that offense, and especially that outfield. And Kloffenstein, I mean, he looks like a beast. He looks like he could be something one day. I'm not going to say it, but he sneakily could be a Jarrett Cole one day. You never know. He could make that level. Maybe he doesn't. But if he doesn't, I think he at least becomes a bullpen arm and maybe as good as Osuna. So, obviously we thought the Breeze would do really well this season. They haven't. And that's kind of led to this trade. And Michigan, after that crazy win streak, they're hot everywhere. They want to add a piece that can win them, the GGBL championship. I mean, get a guy like Osuna, get rid of these guys you don't really need, but the Breeze need. I think it's a good trade for both teams.
All right, cool. I agree. I like them all because I came up with them.
You made them.
But I'm anxious to see what you guys said. We currently have 18 responses in there. I don't know if maybe you guys are... The chat's starting to die out here a little bit. It is what it is. I get it. It gets boring for some, but for those of you that are still hanging in there, kudos to you guys. But yeah, so now we've got a bunch of 1-for-1s happening now, so we're going to move a lot faster. I think I can take this one, Port, if you just want to give me like a grade or something on what you think the trade will do, and we'll move right through it. We'll process all that. I have to still look at which ones are processed, and we still have to do a simulation for the month of August. So we're gonna move here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'll give a grade.
So let's go to the next one. We've got Houston and Portland. So we got the Copperheads and the Pioneers, 2 teams that I actually think are pretty cool, but they don't get a lot of love. Houston Copperheads, they need some outfield offense a little bit. Because I look at their team, I look at Justin Bohr having a solid year, man. 287, 12 homers. He's fine. Michael Bush, 267, 11 homers. Chase Jackson, a custom player, 286. He's been getting more playing time. Donaldson, of course, is the rainmaker, or the maker of rain, 267. Denzel Good's been good. No pun intended there. Donovan Casey, Kiermaier, Drew Waters playing better. Then Kiermaier at 285. I'll just tell you that. He's hitting 206. Yastrzemski, 267, 19 bombs. Gregory Polanco, 19 homers, 250. It's a really good offense. I think when you look at their outfield where it's at right now with Kiermaier, Waters, Casey, you could probably move Casey down at this point because the player that they're going to go out and acquire is a guy, Dom T. Williams. And I love his numbers here. 67, 55, 61, 59. He's a good player. Good speed, good defense, very underrated because he plays in Portland. Doesn't get a lot of love. But you see what he's doing. 4 triples, 16 doubles, 15 homers, 15 bags. Only one time he's been caught. 273. He's an all-around player. And he's a left-handed hitter. Play all 3 outfield spots. I think you acquire him and you bring him over here. You replace him for Donovan Casey. And immediately, I think the Copperheads have solidified themselves as the best team in the NL Central. The move that they're going to make is getting rid of a player by JT Ginn. This is a player that will immediately step in for the Pioneers as one of their top pitching players at a 22-year-old 71B. You look at Ginn. He did pitch for Houston last season, but did not get the call-up this year. And through 83 innings, he actually didn't do too bad, 3.47 and 1.35. But down in AAA, he has seen some struggles, which is why that they've been hesitant and they haven't moved him up. He's currently 3-10. So you look at this trade, and the Pioneers are thinking, Dom T, we could keep you around, but we're really truly in this rebuild mode at this point. We got Starling Marte here, who's going to be leaving next year probably as trade bait. Anthony Rizzo's probably leaving as trade bait as well. You could argue you want to keep a guy like Dom T. Williams, but he's 25C. That's really what this comes down to. He's not going to progress enough to where he's going to be a big time player for him. So he's going to be one of those role type of guys. And if you can acquire a 22-year-old at a 71 like JT Ginn and help your pitching staff out, get a little bit younger there, because you can see it right now, 32, 28, 26, 26, 26. They need some young pitching. I like this move for both squads.
I'm going to stroke your ego a bit here. A+ grade on this.
A+
Copperheads
grade.
building. Copperheads building. Trying to win now. Pioneers building for the future. Makes sense for both teams.
All right, sweet. We'll see if that one actually goes through. Next one up, Boston and Dallas. Boston and the Dallas Hatters. I always miss the Hatters. They're H. Let's go to the Revolution. All right, so what do we got here? We've got Sterling Sharp up on the board at starting pitcher, and then an outfielder, Leody Taveras. This one I kind of like, this little one-for-one type deal. Got guys similar in age, 25 and 23. Obviously, starting pitcher and outfielder, two totally different things. But guys with C potential, Sterling Sharp, and B for Leody Taveras. So why would the Revolution need an outfielder? They've got Kirilloff, Cozens, Brewer, Olivares, Grossman, Rua, and that's really what it comes down to is Ryan Rua. 32 years old, D potential, 246. He's been semi-productive for the team, but really, what does he offer to you? He's a solid defender, decent speed, but looking at Leody Taveras, he's basically just a better defender, better speed-rated player, younger, switch hitter, can do a little bit more offensively, I think, than Ryan Rua can. When he's in the batter's box, laying a bunt down, laying a squeeze down, doing these different little things. And I think this is what the Revolution really need, because when you look at their starters, Grossman's not the quickest. Olivares, he's a starting center fielder, but Taveras would back him up. And Kirilloff is your starting right fielder. He's going to be a good hitter, good defender. Cozens, 187, not really doing too much. And then Jordan Brewer just not getting enough playing time out there. But he's still good. You want to keep Jordan Brewer on the team. And the reason why the Revolution would make that trade, not only do the Hatters, they're loaded with outfielders, Taveras is not going to get any time as well. You got Kelenic, Nimmo, Bradley is nothing. Why is he even, I don't even know. 267, more defensive guy. But, Sterling Sharp's numbers, not really enough to write home about, man. It's 5.49, 4.65, 1.41. So maybe a change of scenery would help him out a little bit. They don't necessarily need him. McCollus 3.3, Alcantara 3.4, Arihara 3.9, Jared Cherry 3.6. Sterling Sharp doesn't really fit with what they're doing, right? So this is kind of a weird trade, but I think it works for both squads. Just kind of a tit for tat type of trade.
Yeah, I'll give it a A minus. Revolution need an outfielder, and the Hatters need a starting pitcher. So it makes sense to me.
All right, let's move on to the next one then. We've got the Columbus Cardinals and the Oklahoma Hawks.
Boo.
This one's interesting. This is kind of falling into that mix with the last trade that we just looked at. So the Hawks don't need any pitching. They're pretty good with the pitching staff right now. But they are going to go out and acquire a guy by the name of Matt Davidson from the Hawks, because Matt Davidson has now gotten his job taken away from him by Han Berger. Look at Han Berger. Another custom prospect hitting 254, 16 homers, and he's 21 years old. I think they're making the right call. Matt Davidson is a DH by trade, but the Hawks do have a lot of good young offensive pieces, and they can get rid of a guy like Matt Davidson. But the one thing that Columbus needs absolutely is another hitter. Let's talk about that really quick, because their outfield right now with Aquino at 17 homers, that's fine. Pete Crow Armstrong with 1. Ben Gamel with 3. The outfield is lacking a little bit of punch. So really when you look at it, it's Aquino, it's Lindor with 21, J.D. Davis with 15, Rengifo with nothing, Shed Long with 5, Bo Callaway with 14. So they've got maybe 4 guys that are in double-digit home run totals. If you can acquire a player like Matt Davidson, who's got 14 as well, hit 31 last year, little change of scenery from a bad team now to a team that's in the playoffs, in the playoff mix. Callaway's a switch. Davidson's a righty. Either way, I think Davidson's going to be your DH. I think this move will make sense for him. But what are the Hawks getting back? Well, the guy's 30. Davidson's 30. He's regressing a little bit too. You can see the regression numbers there. Not going to play every day. He's going to be a DH guy, right? He's not going to be out in the field. He's primary DH. But you get a guy like this, Kevin Smith. Total rando. but look at his numbers. He is like Mr. Vanilla all the way across the board, but he's productive. Look at those numbers. 56, 60, 50, 57, 66, 58.
Wow.
What's not to love about Kevin Smith? Boring name, interesting game. I mean, look what he's doing. 6 homers, 11 doubles, doesn't strike out at all, 320. Can steal a bag a little bit too for you. He's a decent little player. Is he going to play over Gabriel Arias? Probably not. Is he going to play over Luis Garcia? Definitely not. Greg Garcia? Probably. But I think I like Kevin Smith just as a little nifty little piece that can help him out. So in the future, he's 24, he's still young, see potential. Another tit for tat trade. I think I like it.
I'll give it an A minus. Davidson could be huge for the Cardinals, and Smith a nice bench piece for the Hawks.
All right, next one up. The Defenders are back at it again in a trade. And they're going to go to Pittsburgh to acquire a pitcher. There we go.
Ooh.
It's going to be Joe Ryan.
That's a vanilla name.
For Blake Swihart. I love this trade, actually. It doesn't seem really awesome on paper, but I think I like this one. So the Defenders are kind of, again, they're in that mode where the move to get Toro doesn't signal that they're giving up, and this trade doesn't signal that they're giving up quite yet either. So if this one goes through, they've now effectively acquired Toro, a good hitter at third base. They've already got outfield locked down with offense with Parra, O'Grady, and Martin. If they get rid of a guy like Blake Swihart, who is kind of mixing and matching every day, I think he's only got 33 games played. Yeah. 3 homers. So he needs a little bit more playing time than what they're giving him. If they go out and they get rid of Jake Arrieta and they then get back a guy like Joe Ryan, who's younger, I think it helps them with what they're trying to do. He's not going to be a starting pitcher. He'll be in the bullpen at this point, kind of like what Arrieta was. But why does this trade make sense for the Hammers? Well, you look at their outfield right now, and it's Aaron Judge at 249 with 19 homers. So he's kind of picking it up a little bit. J.J. Bleday at 216, but he's still got that A potential of 71, so he's got to play. Bubba Thompson at 208, not acceptable. McCutcheon is seeing a ton of regression at 35. He's now at 248 with only 4 homers. And then Adam Brett Walker is actually having an okay season at 278, 9, and 32. So with this trade, Swihart gives him a little depth at catcher first, switch hitter, gives him more offense in the outfield. And just looking back here at the standings really quick, just to kind of give you guys a little update there with the AL East, you've got the Hammers right now at 6 games back, 3 under 500. And in the wild card, they are currently 3.5 back. So that's a type of move where they get rid of one pitcher for a guy that's going to give them instant offense. I think that's a winning move for Pittsburgh. That might really help them out. Blake Swihart might be like the second half guy of the year, honestly.
Being a bit boring here, but for the third time in a row, I'm going to go A-. Just
Come
makes
on.
sense again.
Come on, Port. Give me something new.
I was thinking about giving a B. You want me to give me you want to give I trade a B? I'll give it a B. No, it makes sense. I mean, you're trading away. I think, the Pioneers. They traded away Arrieta, right? Well, they're going to if it goes past.
Yeah, they could possibly.
If that's accepted, then this trade makes more sense. But maybe not as now, but it can change to an A- after the trade.
All right, guys. So the next trade up. Now this one is a little bit. This is big time. This is a big one. Reynaldo Lopez. This is a tough one. This is a very tough one. Do you want to reload? Do you want to help the Blue Sox out? Do you want to help them out or not? And really, when you look at this, if the Knights are making big moves, if we got the top teams making big moves, the champs want to defend as well, right? So I gotta play fair to them too, So they're gonna go after Reynaldo Lopez from the Portland Pioneers. He's pitching well, 2.90, 1.28, 9 quality starts. He's 7-7 on a bad team, but being 28 years old, he slides right in as well for the Blue Sox. Let's go back to their pitching staff. So that helps him out big time. Margin now at 37. He's seeing some regression, so he's probably going to go back to the bullpen. So yet again, for a back-to-back season, the Blue Sox are going to go after a pitcher that will help them today and help them in the next 2 years as well. But they got to give up a lot of stuff here. And no, they're not giving up Juan Soto. That was a mistake. But they're going to go give up this player here, Cade Cavalli, a 23-year-old, 68. So he's not really that far off from Lopez as far as overall goes. But Cade Cavalli is pitcher out of Oklahoma, 4.23, 1.34 at AAA level, B potential. Solid little player. Will immediately help them this season. He'll probably get the call up in September and help them out. But really the big get here for Portland and what the Blue Sox have to give up in order to get a player like Reynaldo Lopez is Helio Ramos, a 21-year-old A68. Look at the stats here, guys. Solid contact, really good power for a 21-year-old, decent defense, decent speed, and he's hitting 263 with double-digit homers, 46 walks, 8 stolen bags. He can kind of do a little bit of it all. Got a 2.1 wins above replacement. No errors in the outfield this season through 88 games. So Ramos is the big get of this, but he's a top 50 prospect, and I believe so is Cade Cavalli. He is a top 50 as well. So the Pioneers are getting rid of Lopez for 2 top 50 prospects, really making the Blue Sox pay for it. And again, we saw this trend happening with guys like Dallas Keuchel and Kyle Seager. You got to have the best offer on the board in order to make sure that the Pioneers say, yeah, bring it on. We'll take that deal. I think the Blue Sox might hurt with this one in the next 4 years, but I think the Pioneers are making the right move.
I think you'll be surprised with my grade. I'm going S. The S tier is coming up here because this is kind of like the Luciano deal last year. Julio Ramos is a bit, stuck right now in center field. I know they've got another prospect. I forget his name, but they've got another guy in that. And Kei Cavalli is a good, get for Pioneers. So, yeah, I think it's probably the best trade on this whole thing that you've made up. So, good work, Goldie.
What? What did you say?
I say good work, Goldie.
This was the best trade that was...
Yeah, I think it's the best trade because I think both teams are going to win. Watch, I think Blue Sox win the GGBL championship, and I think the Pioneers in 3 years' time become an absolute powerhouse because of this trade.
I see.
I'm telling you right now.
I see what you're saying. You're looking at the long game. You're like...
Yep.
You're like, this trade's going to work out the best for both teams.
Exactly. It's going to work out short term for Blue Sox, and it's going to work out long term for the Pioneers.
All right. Well, we'll go with that. We'll stick with that. All right. So we've got 3 more offers up on the board. The next one will be Richmond and Minnesota.
Ooh, your team.
Yeah. So I can talk real quick about this one because it's my good boys. So let's get to them if I can find them. Where the frick are they at? I don't even know where they're at. Come on. Where are they?
I have to get my dogs out again.
Holy there. Okay, fine. Jeez, man. All right, let's go to the Jacks. Okay, good boy time. Well, our pitching is not as good as it was last year. First and foremost, Daniel Lynch is awful. 5.5. Forrest Whitley 3.8. It's been good. Clark Schmidt 3.7. Aaron Ashby terrible 4.9. Justin Steele 5.1. That's bad. Glenn Sparkman was terrible. 5.3. He got moved down. Been pitching well at 3.4, 1.25. So you would think that our pitching needs to be addressed, right? Well, I'm gonna pull a fast one on you. We're not gonna address the pitching staff.
Whoa.
Catcher, we're fine. Joey Bart's doing well. Olson's doing great. Second baseman, Kipnis, Urias could be better. Third base. That's what we're addressing here with the Jacks.
Ding, ding, ding.
So I look at third. And I see Brett Beatty is our future at third. You could argue that Isaac Paredes is also our future at third. 2 young guys, pretty close in overall rating. But we're currently not in the playoff right now. I think we're a couple games in the wild card. Let me go back here really quick and look. We are 2 games back in the wild card for the Heat and the Grizz. So really, why are we making this move? I feel like third base defense and I feel like third base offense needs a little bit of a bump. So acquiring a guy like Johan Camargo will help us do that. Defensively, he's great. 99 arm, good contact, good power for this level. Hitting 247 this year, 8 homers. He's going to be a nice little contributor for this team. He's not going to be a guy that we rely on to drive in runs. But I look at our infield and I just don't see a lot of power other than Matt Olson. That's it. I mean, Urias is not going to hit the ball out. Kipnis not going to hit the ball out. Brett Beatty's not going to hit it out. Jake Lamb has got 75 power, but he's not going to do much. Bobby Witt and Darius Wilson both are not going to do it. This team is lacking a little bit of thump, right? So Camargo can give that to us a little bit. And we're going to go off and we're going to trade Jake Lamb away. So we're giving Minnesota a little bit more offense, like a guy that's, I mean, they really want to play Hannibal Lobo. I mean, you look at his numbers, they really want to give him more time out there to play. But a guy like Jake Lamb is going to help them against righties with that 75 power. So it's maybe like a pinch hit type of guy. And Minnesota's not out of the race either. So you got to give him a little something extra here as well. And with our outfield currently, we got Tora, we got Munoz, you got Lewis, you got Miesis and Ruth. Miesis is going to be the guy that gets thrown into this deal. And it's a player, Miesis is a player that in gameplay I just can't seem to get him going. Decent numbers, power's there, the good fielding, the good speed. He hit 115 in gameplay and simulation for Richmond this year. 227 last year. but the numbers were there for him. 17 and 67 at AAA 282. He's contributing, so it seems like this is a good trade for the Jacks. You get Lobo to play. You're acquiring a young outfielder at 25, which they need. I mean, you got Derek Fisher, not really a player that's really proving himself at any level. Arozarena obviously is your guy in the outfield, but Connor Scott, like I'm playing Miesis over Connor Scott, definitely 246, two bombs. Gigliotti is a guy that I was hoping would really take the next level for Minnesota, and he hasn't. 219, it's pretty much a defensive outfielder. Then you got Matt Wallner. So they need some outfield help, big time. And I think Miesis gives them that. I think it's a fair trade for both teams. It helps us win today, and it helps Minnesota definitely try to win today too. Win a couple games at least and try to make a push.
Yeah, I'll give it a B minus. Hurts me seeing Jack Lamb, the Seattle-born native, out of Richmond, but you got to take that.
And I love Jake Lamb. I know people that watch the
I know you do.
The Rangers franchise know that I love Jake Lamb, but sometimes you got to cut ties, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, so next up is the Pizzaz, or are the Pizzaz if you want hashtag English.
And not the pizzas.
No,
Remember
not
that.
the pizzas. All right, next up trade. We've got the Pizzaz and the Spirit. So interesting team up here. We've got Ponce de Leon, relief pitcher for Santa Fe, going to New York for Dustin Fowler. Now, this is a depth for depth trade because when I look at the Pizzaz and I see Benito Ramirez, the custom player, just raking this year. 294, 12 homers, 4 triples, 21 stolen bags. He comes into his rookie season and says, "Oh, you thought you guys were good? You guys made it to the championship game? Well, watch this. Hold my beer," basically. He takes the job away from Garrett Mitchell. He takes away the job from Dustin Fowler because now Fowler's sitting there thinking, I'm the third outfielder. I'm basically the fourth outfielder on this team. You got Delmonico who plays every day. Bryce Harper's going to play every day. Triple Crown winner. And then you've got Mitchell and Fowler. So really, he's the fifth outfielder at that point. And the one thing that sucks about the Pizzaz is that their pitching staff and their bullpen has not been very good. Outside of Dustin May, you got Cecil at 6'4". You got Baez at 4'11". And Noli Paredes has been bad every time he gets called up to the bigs. 8-1 at AAA. So they need something out of the relief spot. And we saw it even in the playoffs. They could not get the bullpen going. So Ponce de Leon comes over with a 4-1. He's a cheap little guy. He's a cheap player, especially when you're getting rid of your fifth outfielder. So why does this trade make sense for the Spirit? Do they need an outfielder? They've got Ruth, custom player 299. He's not going to be benched over Dustin Fowler. Sully Matias, 263 with 12 homers. Is he ready yet? That's the question for him. He's 22 years old. Keon Broxton going to play every day, right? Good speed, decent home run numbers, 13 and 61, good contact. But I look at Corbin Carroll and I look at Aaron Whitefield. That's really why we're making this trade. So Ruker's going to play. He's been great for this team, 240, 10 homers and 42. Andrioli's down at the AAA level. Shisugo is down at the AAA level. So really, they need some outfield help. You got Carroll, who doesn't hit a lot of home runs. He's got 231. He's a good player with that A potential. But Aaron Whitefield is a guy that's pure defense, pure speed. Can you afford to send a guy down like that if you're going to get a guy like Dustin Fowler? I think you can. Really, I trust Dustin Fowler more in gameplay than I would a guy like Aaron Whitefield or Corbin Carroll. Because I've seen it. I've seen it in gameplay. 9 homers, 62 ribbies, 11 bags, stolen 299 last year for the Pizzaz, and a lot more playing time. This year, he's getting close to meeting that mark, but I don't think he's going to get there quite yet because we're in August now. But 12 homers already, a career high at 258 in limited playing time. So I think the Spirit and the Pizzaz both win this trade. Again, just swapping some depth for depth. And the thing with the Spirit, they acquired a ton of relief pitching last offseason, so they can kind of afford to get rid of a guy like Daniel Ponce de Leon.
And when I mean a ton, a ton, like a ton. I'm just gonna give this a C. It makes sense, but it's probably the most boring trade on the whole
It is a boring
shit.
trade. It's definitely a boring
So
trade.
so I'm just gonna give it a C because it's just boring. But it makes sense. I would vote for it.
All
It's
right,
just
last
boring.
trade up on the board, guys, and we're going to close the vote. Last trade up on the board, and we're going to close the vote.
Last one.
NL Central, Swing, and the Washington Swamp Monsters. So this trade here, I was really trying to figure this one out. This one was tough for me, but the show likes it, and so do I. So Steven Duggar is going bye-bye from the Swamp Monsters for Jacob Nix. And Jacob Nix at a 4.11, he's 7-9, 119 whip, very good whip. I look at the Swing and they're taking a risk here. They're taking a big risk with this one. They're taking a swing, if you will.
Ah, yes.
Dad joke.
So swinging for the fences.
They're taking a risk, man. There's no way around it. I mean, they've called up Roansy Contreras, who's a good pitcher. Jackson Kowar could make the bump here to take Nix's spot, but they're taking a risk on this one. And really what they're trying to accomplish here is they're trying to add to the offense because Steven Duggar, contact, power against righties, solid defense, decent speed, having a career year this year, 279 for the Swamp Monsters, is not playing a lot. You've got Benson, you got Torner, you got Ray, you got Tomas, you got Fargas down at AAA, who actually was a good player for them in the playoffs. The Swamp Monsters are also taking a risk here too, because they know their pitching staff has not been that good. Yu Darvish, their ace, at a 4.4. Sandoval's been the best at 2.76. Gibson 2.9. Dubin at 4.9. Castro 3.6. Crow is in a relief spot at 4.1. Honeywell was terrible, got called down. He's been pitching decently now at AAA at 3.5. So you bring over a guy like Jacob Nix, and he jumps in and he says, I'm ready to perform because I'm already doing it. I'm already doing it over here for the Swing. Let me help you guys. But the thing that saves the Swamp Monsters with this move is that you've got a guy like Brock Holt, who's Mr. Super Utility. First, second, short, left, center, right. He can literally jump on over to take Steven Duggar's spot, right? He can even take Tomas's spot if they wanted to. He can take Dustin Turner's spot or Will Benson's spot. Just depends on where you want to put Brock Holt. In my opinion, that's what the move should be. And that's what I think it should be. DJ Taylor needs to start at third base. I think that's a given.
Yeah.
You just look at the defensive drop from where Taylor is to where Brock Holt is. I mean, it's technically a little bit close, but 69 fielding to 82 for DJ Taylor. He's got to play.
Yeah. Young.
Both guys are different. The contact and the power numbers totally different in both guys, but I think Brock Holt has to continue to play. I think he shifts to the outfield. So really, if you want my opinion, I do. I think the Swamp Monsters win this trade. It is a risk, but I think they win the trade. The Swing, on the other hand, getting a nice outfielder here. You get Mountcastle to move over to first base to take over for Ryan O'Hearn, sitting 217. Mountcastle can play first base, and you look at his fielding numbers, you look at his defense. I can't really put that out in the outfield. So Mountcastle moved to first.
Right.
Then you get Duggar into left, Senzel maybe to left. Maybe Senzel is probably your center fielder. But then you got Gerard Encarnacion is having a great year this year, man. His career season now, 13 homers, 39 career highs right there. Well on his way to surpass hits, runs, doubles, triples, batting average. So Encarnacion is the future there. I think both teams won the trade there, but this one I had to really convince myself of. But when you look at it a little deeper, I think it makes sense.
Yeah. I think I'll end it off with a solid B. Both teams are taking risks here. I like it. Just give it a B. I think it's good.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to give just a couple more minutes. It is currently 10:44. I'm going to link the form here for you guys one more time. What's up, Matt Zimmerman? He says, what's up, GG? What's going on, man? I'm linking a form for you, sir. So, we are officially done with the trade talk.
Oh,
I started at like what? So, it's been going for an hour and 37 minutes. Holy Nikes. I'm going to leave timestamps in here for you guys, too, by the way. I've tried to do that in the past with these podcasts, but I haven't been able to go in there and do that, but it requires me to rewatch it, which sometimes you don't want to rewatch yourself on camera all the time.
Yeah. Colby Mead. How do I join the league? All you got to do is win a prospect, my man. Through contests or through giveaways. We've got sometimes there's giveaways on Twitch if Goldie feels like it. You usually win one through the contest. You can also become a patron to get a guaranteed prospect, whether it be a 70 overall B guy or a 75 overall A potential guy. Yeah. So Enrico Ramos just said win a contest or join Patreon. Yeah, basically that.
Port.
I feel so bad because he just I went so long and he just summarized it.
He just summarized it.
That's all he did. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, that's exactly
That's all he had to do. That's all he had to do. He just summarized it for you. Hey, you can win a contest or you join Patreon.
Thank
Port's
you,
out
Rico.
here saying his Hall of Fame speech or something. Oh my god. No, I tease you, Port. I tease you. But thank you both for answering that. But Colby, to answer it from the horse's mouth. That's the saying, by the way. Yeah. So every week, the GGBL basically operates in weeks, but it's what we do is we actually get through a month of gameplay. So every week I'll have like a new Google form that with like a bunch of like prop bets on there, like who's gonna hit the most home runs, who's gonna win this matchup, blah 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 blah. If you place in the top 5 in those contests, then you win a prospect for that season. And if you have any other questions, let me know. But for Patreon, if you want to join Patreon, you want to donate like $1. No, it's actually $3 and up. There's different tiers that you can guarantee yourself that your player is going to be rated a certain way. That's the perk. That there's no like your player's not going to be bad. He's going to be an immediate starter. Here's an example. If you want an example, let's go to Bandito Ramirez. That's a Patreon prospect right there. Rookie season, 294, 12 homers, 42 ribs, 21 stolen bags. That'd be a good example for you. So, if you wanted to do that.
Yep.
Okay.
Make sure, guys, that after the trade results, we've got the August sim, I'm pretty sure. So.
Yes. We're going to do the August simulation. That won't take long. Even the trades won't take long. The one thing that will is getting all the lineups redone, so you'll have to allow me some time there. But let's go to those trade propositions, and I will give you guys the results.
Excited.
I am too, sir. I think it's going to be good. Let's move this.
I feel like all of them may have passed. People did say they want chaos in the Discord.
They do want chaos. Let's see if you guys can see this screen here really quick.
See Streamlabs.
Perfect.
There we go.
Perfect. Let's zoom in real quick. So there's your form. I'm officially closing it now. We are done. 18 total responses. This didn't happen. Trade voting will be closed on Wednesday at 9:30. Nope.
10:40, most
Definitely
likely.
not. Let me zoom in and again. Like, I don't know if you guys can totally read that or not. You'll be able to see the graphics, though. Those are pretty easy to understand. But, okay, so 60% approval has to be had in order for the trade to pass. So we're going to scroll down. We're going to see which ones passed. Dun, 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 dun. LA Knights get Kyle Seager. Do they or do they not? Oh, shoot. Hold on. I can't see it. Hold on. Hold up. Display. Exit out of that.
It was like
I got to go to responses, but I don't want to dox people, so I got to get rid of these.
No, you don't want to do that.
Nope, no doxing. No doxing will be had today. There we go.
Yeah.
There you guys go.
Cool. Alrighty.
Can you see it?
Yep.
88% said yes. 2 said no to Kyle Seager going to LA. So LA will get the big time third baseman. Congratulations there. And then this one,
Yes.
Seattle will get Parker Bridwell and Riley Green for Ian Happ and Santos Sanchez. So only 6 people said no, 12 approved. And then the next one, we've got Atlanta trading with Phoenix. This one was approved 12-6 as well. This one in overwhelming fashion for Las Vegas to get Dallas Keuchel, 16-2. Colorado, they will get Johnny Cueto. So far, everything has been approved. So far, looks like this one is too. San Francisco will get Dakota Chalmers. St. Louis will get Jake Arrieta. This one, 12-6 again. Chicago and Michigan, that'll pass, 14-4. Houston, I'm still waiting for the 100% one. 16-2. So Houston gets Dante Williams. That's really going to help them, guys. Boston and Sterling Sharp with the Dallas Hatters, 14-4. Columbus, they will get Kevin Smith, Mr. Plain Jane name. Actually, Columbus will get Matt Davidson, excuse me. Next one up, San Diego gets Joe Ryan for Blake Swihart. That's a good one. Blue Sox, Reynaldo Lopez. This one was approved, 13-5. That's a little bit different. Good Boys, 13-5 as well. We're going to get Camargo. And Minnesota will get a nice outfielder and kind of replacement power with Jake Lamb. And then the Spirit and Pizzaz, this one will go through as well, 15-3. And the Swing and Swamp Monsters, 15-3 as well. So, guys,
there we go.
Every single trade went through.
Woohoo!
And I don't think that's ever happened before. In XBA, in Royals, in even in year number 1 for GGBL. I don't even think that happened.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so
all of you for making chaos.
Yeah, you know what's cool though is yeah, it could go either way, right? So I can sit here for 4 hours and I can come up with the most even trades that I can think of, and this kind of backs it up that you guys liked the offers for both teams. Everything went through. Nothing was totally crazy where it was like, dude, what are you doing? You're ripping us off. But we had some people disapprove, which is fine. But 60% is the overwhelming majority. I don't think even one went below 72%. So
no, one did. Yeah, Seattle
66. Seattle got 66. No, Seattle got 66, and Atlanta got 66 as well. So, but on the other flip side of that, maybe you guys just didn't even really think they were fair. You just want to see chaos. So that could happen too.
Or they hate Seattle.
Or they hate Seattle.
I saw that in chat. Everyone was like, no, don't vote for Seattle.
Of course they would. Of course they would. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go through and process all of the trades while Portugal entertains you with a song that he created. No, no, I don't know. So, what do you guys think? You entertain him, Port, while I get this stuff done here. Let's see.
Yeah, so I guess the first thing I should say is that that wasn't Wrigglesworth earlier. That was my dogs. I almost lost my train of thought for a second because they were just barking. And then straight after, I had to mute the mic and to my dad. I'm like, can they just shut up? Can they shut the freak up? I'm trying because I'm doing this. Yeah, I mean, that's really the only issue I had. Oh yeah, I called the Pioneers. I called the Pioneers the Defenders by accident. They're the same team. I don't know about you guys, but they kind of, I don't know, they blend in my head where, they're just kind of mixed on my head. So dogs wanted to vote on trades, I guess.
Yeah, they did. They must have.
I couldn't let them in. I couldn't. They were waiting for Richmond. They were waiting for Richmond. And I didn't get it. But yeah, it's been an interesting GGBL season so far. I watched. I've watched a couple games. Obviously, I've got to watch KAJ, that's my guy. Toru's my guy as well. Also love watching customs every time. I love watching Janil Rivera. He's such a special player just because of that two-way status. I love watching Burnside, the Burnside Bros. I think you guys enjoy that as well. It's been an interesting season, and I don't know. Maybe I should just quickly go through predictions on who's going to win the World Series this year, or the GGBL Championship. I'm going to say it because I said it during the trade thingo. That was an S tier trade. I think Carolina's going to repeat, and it's going to peeve Goldie off because he doesn't want that to happen. But because of that trade, it's going to happen now. I think it's going to happen, and I think the Knights will make the NLCS and choke. They'll be like 3-1 up, and they'll just choke. And then the AL probably be Michigan and another team. I think Michigan goes to the championship, and I think Michigan beats a team. I say a team like Columbus. I don't think Phoenix, or if Seattle makes it, those kind of teams. I don't think it happens. I think Michigan loses to. Goldie's just died in his chair. Michigan.
Dude, it's this stupid. Why can't I make these trades?
No idea.
If you go to trade talks, you offer the trade, you go back to the other team to accept the trade, but it doesn't let you do it. It says jump to the screen, and you jump to the screen, but it doesn't show you anything. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to call up guys from the single A. So if it's like a 3-for-1, if it's not a 1-for-1, if it's like a 3-for-1, I gotta swap people.
Okay.
So basically, LA, just watch this. So this is what's gotta happen. So go to CPU roster control. You go to Philly. You go to player movement. You go to LA. And I don't even know where Dylan Motes is. So I've got to move. I got to move Seager over for Velade. Right.
Right.
Where's Velade? Seager for Velade.
And you
Curtis for Pena. Curtis for Pena, and then I gotta call up
someone.
I gotta call up a single A guy like this guy. Well, no, we'll do Kyle Crick. Move to MLB, and then go to LA and call up Billy McKinney, and just swap those guys.
Yeah, this is behind the scenes for you guys. This is how Gold does his rosters.
This is behind the scenes for sure.
Yeah.
Flights. They've also got. They need to get the flight need to get the pitcher. They need to get the pitcher, Patrick Murphy. So Murphy for Crick. So that way the trade went through. So Kyle Seager. So if we check this, they've got Seager. They got Seager. They got rid of Velade. They got rid of Eric Pena. So he's no longer here. And then they've got
Patrick Murphy.
Sean Murphy, which will be on the flight. And we can check that right now. Flights, Patrick Murphy. So Murphy,
cool.
Velade, Eric Pena. Perfect. So I'll leave that alone, and I'm going to go back later on tonight and fix up all the 40-man rosters. Okay, so that trade went through. So just hang in there, man. If you really want to see it, if you really want to see the August sim, cool. If not, I'll just lead into the Friday streams and the Monday. I'll give everybody like an update on Monday too with it. But if you guys want to hang out, cool. If not, that's all right too.
Yeah.
So luckily,
the timestamps.
What's that?
We'll have the timestamps after.
Yeah. It's a long stream tonight, but all right. So Indiana and Seattle are 2 for 2. So that was a good one. This one's easy.
It gets easier with the 1-for-1s as well.
Oh yeah, I mean we'll be in and out pretty quickly.
Yeah, pretty easy. Just gotta entertain the stream more.
Keep going, man. You do you.
Yeah. I think the GGBL has been interesting. Surprise team of the year has definitely been the Nashville Heath. Marjavicius. I really hope he wins a Cy Young. I really hope he wins a Cy Young. That would be such a cool sight to see. Disappointing team of the year so far. It could change. I'm just going to preface this because I think it could change. I don't think it will, but it could. I think Seattle's been the most disappointing team. Just because you see the potential, you see KAJ, you see Willie Calhoun, you see these guys like Rushman, Franco's a good leadoff guy. You see Dominguez now being in the team. You kind of and you see Urias, you see Mitchell, you see Monroe. You're like, how is this team not good? MLB ranks them as the second best team. They're probably one of the best offenses in the whole league. It's just the pitching, man. Forgot about Garrett Crochet, who I think is probably a top 3 closer. So, Seattle, been disappointing. Nashville, been surprising, been happy for them. Phoenix is a close second for surprise. We knew how good their pitching staff would be, with Ramos, Letterman. Who else do they have on their roster? I'm just actually going to go back. Max Fried, Porcello. They've got a good pitching staff, I remember in the preview we kind of solidified this is a good pitching staff. But we didn't expect the offense. We knew Jesse Winker last year was great. He was really good last year. But everyone else was kind of meh. And then everyone just went on fire. And then, that's literally how Phoenix have been here. And that's why they've made, I think it was the Castro trade they made. So, Phoenix is in a very good situation right now. That AL West, I think sadly Oklahoma is actually in the worst position because I think Phoenix windows could close maybe next year, but if it doesn't, it poses a big problem to Oklahoma. Could pose a problem to Santa Fe, but their bullpen is stacked and they're developing young guys at the same time. Polanski, Chris, Roof is a big one. Roof is definitely a big one. And obviously you've got the draft upcoming, so it's very interesting in Phoenix. I'm just going to go through some teams I like. Indiana's been good. You thought Chicago would be maybe the team in the Central. I know they've kind of dipped a bit now, but they're getting Ian Happ to kind of revitalize that. They've got some good prospects in Grayson and Port. Syndergaard, obviously their best player. It's their ace. Nate Lowe's a great player. That team definitely needs another bat to kind of go up to Columbus standards. And Chicago's been probably the second most disappointing team behind Seattle because I think Chicago. I wouldn't have said Chicago would have made maybe their the championship series of the AL, but I think they should have made the playoffs. You got Jarrett Cole. They had a great year last year. Jarrett Cole, Yamamoto. You got Jordan in the bullpen. Maybe he can start sometimes. Letterman's having a great year. He's been the bat. But then you look at a couple guys like, Edwards, Bohm. They've just not been good enough. And, that offense is a big reason why. That's why they traded away as soon as you get a bat. And I know that I think it does hurt Chicago fans because Osuna is definitely maybe he is the best closer in the whole GGBL, so it's really hard for them to replace that kind of output, and it's just going to be hard for Chicago because we thought they would take that step to be kind of the perennial team, just stay there in the AL Central, and they haven't. So just a couple teams I wanted to name. Maybe we'll go NL. One NL team. Let me look at an NL team. I'll go with I'll go with people's favorite team. I'll go with LA. I think LA are going to be. I think LA won't win this year, but they'll win next year. They'll win in at least year 3 or year 4, and then I think they won't win till like year 7. That's my prediction. I think LA is going to have a bit of a dynasty in the NL West, especially Janil Rivera, Keto Rodon. These are all custom prospect, by the way. Brody Jordan, Daniel Smith. Like, it's insane. You added Acuna Jr., Conforto, Castellanos. That's an insane outfield. Kaboom.
It really is
I
when
know
you
that.
think about it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's insane because their starting pitcher is this. The bullpen and definitely their starting pitchers are young. You got Brody Jordan who's progressing. You got Daniel Smith. So your infield, I know it's a weak point, but like, I mean, wow, like that's not going to be a problem in a couple of years' time. It's insane. Yeah, I think that's really all I wanted to talk about in terms of GGBL teams. I'm excited for the next draft. That's going to be interesting. See what teams win said draft. Definitely, going to be interesting. Obviously, probably we'll get a stadium. I think by the off season, so that will be good. We had what did we have? We had the Philadelphia, the flight field. I want to say
Flight field.
And then we also had Santa Fe, which I forget the name of. Santa Fe Yard. Yeah, Santa Fe Yard. And yeah. It's been a very interesting year in the GGBL. It's been opening I think opening day was insane, and we kind of been a bit unlucky with gameplay after that. I think opening day was probably the best gameplay of the series. So I want to check that out. Go back. If you're new here, I'd either go back to year 1 if you want to restart. Obviously a long watch, but you can try. Or you could go back to year 2, opening day. That can even work. You can hop in from year 2. So, yeah. You can always hop in at any time. I hopped in Big 12 Team Builder, old series, midway through the series, and it was like 100 episodes. I didn't watch back, and I got it straight away. So if you're here for the first time, then cool. If you're a recurring GGBL viewer, thank you for watching.
Ask some questions in the chat there. Which trades did you guys actually like the most?
Exactly, yeah. Which trades?
Which trade did you like the most?
I know we got Sports Gaming Josh here. What trade did you like the most, Josh? I think the most disappointing is the Breeze. It's definitely the Breeze or Emeralds. I just think Emeralds because I think they could have been the best team in the AL.
One thing I have to mention to you guys, sorry, Port, for cutting you off. One thing I have to mention here is that if some teams have I am modifying it just a little bit, but it's not going to be game breaking. So just to let you know, you probably, if you've been watching, you might see these 3-for-2s or these 2-for-1s. If you've got, I'm trying to swap single A guys that are just never going to make it for the actual player that's supposed to come over. So I'm trying to modify it a little bit to just make sure it makes sense. Like this guy, Donnie Sands, a 54, he's never going to cut it. He would be a guy that I'd end up moving over. So these dudes at the bottom will kind of be a part of some of these moves just to kind of keep it moving. So
yeah, makes sense. I can't wait for custom prospects to slowly take over All-Star game slots. It's exciting because it's already happening. KAJ, I know Matt. I know there was a lot of guys on the bench on the All-Star game. KAJ was technically on the bench, but he was good. He was a good DH. But I think I like this Kyle Seager trade because of how well he fits in. I think Seager can definitely bring a lot. Whether he goes back to Philly next year, we'll see. But no, it's a good fit. If you want to win now, if LA wanted to do that trade and you wanted to win now, then Kyle Seager was the perfect guy. And for Philly, it gives them the prospects. That's what they need. They're not going to contend for a while. They're not going to be a team you're going to maybe look at. Sorry to say to all Flight fans, but we might not look at them for gameplay in a while. we'll look at them sometimes, but when they're good, we'll look at them. But right now, they're not good.
They're pretty just not good.
they're pretty just not good. They're just not good. Anyone in the chat who is Rico Ramos? Hold on. Blue Sox and Pioneers trade was good. Firebird and Sting trade too. I'm saying this. I think the Blue Sox trade is the best of the Blue Sox and Pioneer trade is my favorite because I think short term it's going to help Blue Sox. Long term it's going to help the Pioneers. Firebirds and Sting. I agree with that. I really like that trade as well with the Castro, if I'm remembering right. So yeah, I think those two trades are definitely they fit both teams.
Oh fuck! Damn it!
What was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask something and then I just completely brained out because Rico came in and was like, "Hi."
Here's an example, guys. So like Polka. If I wanted to do Polka for, Asuna, because you have to do 1-for-1 in player movement. Since I can't do it through the trade screen because it's goofy, so I'm doing it through player movement. So Polka for Asuna, you can't do it because it's going to give the Mallards more than 45 pitchers. So basically, I have to do Asuna for their worst pitcher, which would be like this guy, Jose Francisco, a 57B. Oh, I can't even do that. No, I can't do that because look at this stuff. Repertoire 95, 95. Yeah, I can't do that. So I got to find something else like this guy, like Spencer Watkins, a 29D 57. Never going to cut it, right? So it's basically this guy's not going to cut it for Michigan. He's not going to cut it for Chicago. So you just move him over. So as soon as now in Michigan, so now you move over Polka because now Chicago just got rid of Asuna for nothing. So you got to get Polka over. So it's Polka for Pilar, who's not in the GGBL. He's a 20 overall. And you swap them because they're both outfielders. So that's how you make that work.
They're I mean
now you got to get Kloffenstein. Wait, where's Kloffenstein? He's got to be up here. You got to get Kloffenstein over as well. That would be him right there, and you would swap him out for one of their worst pitchers, which would be Mickey Janis, 49D.
Yeah.
So there you go. So there's your 2-for-1. So Kloffenstein and Polka over here for two garbage players not going to make it over here for Michigan. There you go. And they also get Asuna. So
yeah, nothing's going to change. Don't worry, guys.
No harm, no foul.
All that happens is some minor things in there, to work the trade out between the two teams. Just giving up some bad prospects to each other. I was going to post something. Oh yeah, I know I have a feeling who's Rico's favorite, but who's your guy's favorite custom prospect?
Ooh, good question there.
Because I know who Rico. If you could do someone else that other than Rico, that would be good.
We know who his is. Pure and simple.
I think my favorite, other than the two I have, three actually. I forgot I have James. I really like Luigi Mazza. I don't know why, but Luigi Mazza's probably he just feels like a franchise player for New Orleans, and I'm always like his stats look good. I'm always excited by him. I feel like someone would say if Corey was here, he'd say Bandito. I don't know who else. I think Bandito's a shout for me as well because I do like Bandito. Rico says Luigi. Luigi getting some love here.
That's good. Yeah, Luigi's cool. I like Luigi Mazza.
Oh, I like this. My favorite is my own prospect, Joshua Adams, which is fair. Otherwise, it would be Paxton Birdside and KAJ.
So how about this, guys? If you're still watching, how about this? State if you've got a custom player, state who it is, but then state what other guy you like. That'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah. So my customs would be. I'll name another one as well. My customs are James Monroe, Joshua Tora, and actually KAJ. And then probably my two favorite I'll name is obviously Luigi. Now I've got to look. Now I've got to look at the sheet that I constructed.
Where's my dude?
Who do I
Where's
like?
Where's Kevin Smith at? He's got such a simple. There he is, man.
You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Matt Justice. Matt Justice is my guy. So those are my two. I would say. I've got 3 customs. I'm probably gonna get a 4th. I've won like 3 custom prospects, but I'm not gonna use them all. I could, I could, but I don't want to.
How do you? That's the other thing, Port. How do you freaking win so many?
Oh yeah.
The thing is, everybody gets like mad at me almost because they're like, "How in the world, Goldie? This guy is constantly winning prospects all the time, and you guys are like pretty close. So is there some funky business going on?" I'm like, "No, man. He's just freaking lucky. It's ridiculous." Your success at this almost like pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You know, what it was. I forget who else was in chat, but it was me and this dude, and you were like, "Who's gonna get a home run first?" And I was gonna go with like, I don't know. I was gonna go. I think it was New Orleans versus Colorado. I want to say something like that. And I was. He went Colorado, and I was gonna go Colorado, and I was like, okay, I'll go New Orleans because I've got to make it interesting. And I DM Goldie on Discord. I don't want to win this custom prospect. I beg, I don't win this custom prospect.
He said that.
And then I think a Carcion comes up and he just hits a bomb out, and I'm like, no. I'm just like, no way, dude. I'm like, no way. It's insane. My luck is insane.
To you, though. It always happens to you.
You know, I know. Like, first pick'em I went into was a team builder pick'em. Everyone was like watching for 4 seasons. I come in and I just win the pick'em. And then the All-Star game, the XBA All-Star game, that was funny because I won all the bets there. And I won the Dame bet. I predicted it spot on as well every time.
Oh, yeah, the All-Star game? Yeah, that dude, what was that? I remember that clear's day.
If you guys want to look back, look at XBA All-Star, and then you can see what happened there. It was it was crazy. I'll never forget that night. And yeah, I just win customs in GGBL now. Every time. It's insane.
We used to do a Heel Boy used to offer like his own picks and stuff for NCAA Team Builder.
Yeah,
we should do that for GGBL for Portugal here, since we're so freaking lucky all the time with this.
Oh, and I don't enter a lot of pick'ems because I want other people to win. Last time I entered a pick'em, I won. So there's another thing. I entered it before in like the opening week and I lost, but the second week I won. So there's another thing. I don't know. I don't know what I've got. Like, I always say this to Gold. I always get custom prospects, but my customs always, I want to say suck, but they always kind of are overhyped and they are just bad. You know, Daniel Monroe from Team Builder, Jed Ray. I know he won a championship, Jed Ray, and I'm really happy about that. But everyone hyped him up, and after he was bad, everyone hated him. The only player I had, and throwback name, but also a current name in the GGBL, is James Monroe. He was really good in the UAB series. And then Gold's Xbox broke. So I'm like, huh? So I'm hoping KAJ, Tora, Monroe, and in the NHL series, Vidar do well. And of course I'm forgetting my own player from the Madden series. Quarterback. He was from Syracuse, and it's the next episode actually, against him. I'm gonna actually look that up quickly because he was actually one of my favorite backstories.
Jamari Greenwood.
Yes, Jamari Greenwood. There you go. Jamari Greenwood that is the name I was looking for. So yeah, I'm hoping all those guys do well, but in the past I haven't been good. I got lucky once so far. You've gotten Juicebox. You've gotten lucky. Yeah, if in terms of if you won a GGBL, yeah. You're also in the NHL series as an open submission. We had a couple, and you got in, sir, by random chance. So you got lucky there as well. I'm gonna try and go for 2-on-2 on playoff forms. Yeah, playoff. I might do playoff forms. I'm thinking about it. I mean, if you win the playoff forms like you did, Josh, you could get another guy. I would be happy for you because I don't want him. Oh yeah, you're right. Forgot about that. Well, yeah, juice box. I'm the all-seeing eye. Listen, doing 12 hours of the year 2 GGBL sheet scarred me for life. So I saw Adam Law. I have him parallel. Nice. That's cool. So yeah, that's pretty cool, Josh. Silence, because I'm trying to continue the conversation. What else can I ask? I just want to ask. This is an early question. Where do you guys? Maybe if we just for next year, where do you guys want to see the All-Star game?
Ooh, we're starting to get that talk in there a little bit.
Yeah, maybe keep it in mind just to put it on the sheet.
What team do you think needs a new stadium?
That is a good question. Well, I can tell you. Let me just look because I've got the stadiums on the sheet. If you want the holy bible of everything, of the players, of the stadiums, year 2 GGBL sheet down there. Worked on that. Pretty good. Let me look.
I worked on that pretty good.
Yeah, well, I didn't work on that. But I did work on the players sheet. I think who doesn't have a stadium? Philadelphia's they have a stadium.
I should probably save this really quick.
Yeah, I'd save it.
We need to save this.
Does Washington not have a field?
They go at Capitol Field. It's one of the pre-made ones. Which I kind of don't want to touch them because I think that's so cool. That it's the one stadium that MLB The Show has by default that kind of just matches where they're at, where the location is.
I've got one.
So,
the Nashville Heat.
Dude, I like theirs too, because if you ever look at Nashville's skyline, they've always got the buildings being worked on and the cranes. Go look it up. Look it up online.
Nashville.
Yeah, look it up.
Okay,
check that cheese.
Oh, I want the TV show. Yeah, it's actually pretty beautiful. It's got like a river. Wow, that is actually... I didn't know Nashville is that beautiful. Okay, that's not a beautiful photo. That's cool.
Got a lot of things going on here.
What about Oklahoma? Huh? The deer?
Oklahoma could use one, yeah. That's kind of a really plain Jane stadium. For
sure. See you, KJ. Thanks for being in the stream.
All right, see you, man. See you, KJ. Like I said, guys, if you got to leave, I get it. I thought the stream would have been over
by now, but
yeah. But if I'll have a little update. I'll give you guys an update on Friday with the first game that pops up.
Yeah.
To kind of let you see how teams did, and then on Monday, if you've even missed that, I'll let you know how everybody did in the very beginning of the video. I'll still cover all the trades, like a real snapshot, and we'll be moving on. So,
yeah, just doing some admin work here, and for the people that stay, you get a little surprise. See how your team's doing in August. See how the stats do quickly, and then
I just got to make a decision here who we're gonna call down.
Oh, who's it gonna be on the Nuggets?
I can't.
Could define their season.
Nick Gonzalez. It's tough, man. It's probably gonna have to be the pitcher. Hildenberger's been good. Everybody's been good. Starting pitcher, maybe.
Congratulations to Freddie Freeman, by the way.
Yes, big time.
Very happy for him.
Probably Robles.
And
He's 2-5.
bit sad. Have a good retirement, Buster Posey.
That is big sad for me because I've always been a Buster Posey man. So you know, it is.
Did a lot for the sport of baseball.
He did.
So tip the cap.
But it does come a time. Does come a time where you have to hang it up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he had a great last year with that Giants squad. So yeah, hopefully we can poach Chris Bryant for the M's ourselves. That's a name that's being.
You really
mentioned.
think you're gonna get Chris Bryant?
We could. That's a name that's being discussed. We're looking for big guys. Apparently, a lot of Seattle fans want Chris Bryant. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I looked at. If we could get Chris Bryant, I think we've got a chance next year to make the playoffs. I'm just saying. Could break the drought. It was great to see how, considering how loyal Freeman has been. I was shocked when I read Posey retired. Yeah, I think, Posey, 34 is kind of a age where you could see someone retiring, but you don't think they're going to retire. But it made sense for Buster Posey, to just hang it up. And I think for Freeman, yeah, that's amazing for him. He went through the highs, he went through the lows, the low lows in like 2015 and 16. But he's been very loyal to that ball club, and I mean, loyalty pays off in sports. Loyalty does pay off in sport a lot. So, cough, cough, Bryce Harper, cough, cough. Yeah. I got to hate on a whole new generation of Giants players. Oh. I got to hate on a whole new generation of Astros players.
Oh man, I'm so glad they lost. I'm just gonna say it. So glad they lost, dude.
You ask me how I feel as an M's fan. I'm pumped that they lost. Screw the Astros.
Definitely.
Cheaters.
Jeez, man, we're on.
And I'll never forget Toro homering off of Graveman as his first homer for Seattle. It was just a gut punch. It was like, fuck you. Sorry. Sorry.
Well, I don't have a problem with Kendall Graveman, but I just the people that used to the players that were there. The players that were there when all the cheating happened, and I don't know, maybe Graveman was there. I don't know, but
no, he wasn't. He was part of Seattle. He was part of Seattle. And we moved in on the deadline for Toro, and he homered off of Graveman in his for his first home as a Seattle, in his Seattle jersey. So it felt like we won that trade because of that. It was awesome. Yeah. No, I'm happy. I'm happy the Stros lost. I got the first call in Discord to say that the Braves won the World Series. I was waiting for it. Thank you, Australia, for showing MLB games. I'm very proud of that. Don't get a lot of coverage here on American sports.
Almost done, here, guys. Almost done. I know.
I think you guys made the right choices in accepting every trade, though. As a Yankees fan,
not like anything was crazy,
Yeah.
What? Grayson Rodriguez hasn't pitched. What the heck is that about? Hold up a second here. What? Where is he? It's the whole reason we moved him down so he could pitch.
Oh.
Do you remember that? He's not even. Oh, AAA. Dumb.
Yeah, he's in AAA.
Hold on.
Wait, were you looking for Grayson?
He hasn't pitched.
Wait, what? Gold. What was that?
Look at. He's still up there. He's on there. Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't know. There's second half of the year. Maybe that's what it is.
I
don't know. Doesn't
As a
make much sense
Yankees
to me.
fan, the ALCS matchup was a lose-lose situation. Crazy to think how Blue Jays had 90 wins and missed out on the playoffs, and 88 win Braves win the World Series. Talk to me as a Seattle fan when we had more wins than the Braves as well. But I mean, the Braves deserved it. They would have easily won their division if they had Acuna. They would have had probably 100 wins, if you would say. So I don't know if they win a World Series because obviously the chemistry is a lot, but they definitely win more games as the Braves. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Just back to GGBL, it's just going to be interesting with. I really hope we get to see Carolina versus LA. I'm sorry about Richmond. I love Richmond, but I want to see that matchup at least for once.
Dude,
That matchup.
Even I don't want to see Richmond make it because I know I'm just going to get disappointed. I'd rather take the draft.
You'd rather get Toro. You'd get another Toro.
Yep.
And you get you lucked out on the draft. You had a really bad free agency, and then you lucked out.
It was bad, wasn't it?
Yep, it was the worst. And then you're like, I want Janelle Rivera. Never forget this. I was asleep, and it was like, I want Janelle Rivera, and I wake up. I scroll back and I want Janelle Rivera, and he's Tora, and he's like, oh, I got this guy Tora. He was disappointed because he wanted Rivera. I'm like, hold on, this is my guy, Gold. This is my guy. What's going on here? So I'm just like, this is my guy.
Man. Your players are freaking cursed. I don't want them on my team.
Yeah.
I don't want them. I don't want to touch them. Get them out of here. Get them away from me.
Petition for Dansby Swanson to go to the Chicago Breeze in the off season. The Breeze need any help they can get. But I will say this: they're a good trade destination. That's all I'm going to say, though. They're a good trade destination for some people. So if you're a Chicago fan, just wait. Wait for the prospect pool, and definitely wait for trades that maybe a team will make. Because Chicago does have that pool. They're a big market. So, juice box. Disappointing as of now, but I think Chicago will be back soon. It might take a year or two, but they'll be back. They'll pull off a big trade, I think. And if not, a big free agent signing. And if not, a big draft pick signing. And if not, their prospects like Letterman goes up and does well, I guess. Oh. So yeah, and then I'm like to Gold. After Tora, I'm just going back on this for a second. I'm like, I make him read the Tora backstory. I'm like, you got to read this to understand your play, and he was like,
freaking
wow, this
loaded.
is sick.
Just loaded.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, I'm a big backstory guy. I like writing a lot. So, if I gave you KAJ's full backstory, you would probably fall asleep. We're not going to do that, though. We did that in a Discord call, and that's the only time I'm doing it, because it was that long. And I don't think you want to hear his life story.
Here's my guy, but I don't think you want to hear it.
Yeah, no, I think people would just turn off the stream.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Colorado is my favorite bull. Colorado is probably one of my favorite ballparks just because of the the altitude. The altitude. I didn't even know that was this is why MLB The Show, guys, is the greatest game. I didn't even know this. You can change the altitude in each stadium. So obviously Colorado has a high altitude because it's Colorado. And yeah, I didn't know that, but that's why you may see more home runs in Colorado. Really like the Fights ballpark. Yeah, I think the Fights ballpark is good. Hopefully we get to see it more in the future.
Got 39 the 40 man here. Hold up 1 second. I gotta make sure the 40 mans are right, because otherwise CPU does it and they do some stupid stuff. So this is why I have to take care of it and CPU cannot, because they do stupid things.
Yes, they do. Don't worry, we've seen it. You have to get Rico. You have to get permission from, I think, Teaspoon. Yeah, Teaspoon.
For what?
He said, "Can I make my Patreon prospect to be Luigi's brother?" And I think Teaspoon.
Can you
owns
what?
Luigi
Oh,
Mazza.
Luigi's brother.
Yeah.
Oh, like you're really gonna do it? You're gonna have Mario? All right, guys.
Mario Mazza. Oh my.
40-man rosters have been completed. Now for the roster, I'm going to save this. So we're all caught up with 40 man. So now with the roster, I'm gonna let the CPU do that, and then we'll just go through and verify that everything is correct. Because they're gonna do the lineups as well. So we're gonna auto correct this.
Mario Mazza. What would Mario be? Would he be like a? He would be like a Willie Calhoun, chubby outfielder. I feel like that's just stuck in my head.
So we're gonna go through. We're gonna verify this. I'm not gonna save it because I don't want to just lose that save file progress. So let's just take a look real quick and see what we got going on here. Okay, so Honeywell. This is be good for me to know because Honeywell was in AAA. So it's good to see that Nix was acquired. He's at the MLB level. Nothing really changed by the looks of it. Anthony K was a AAA pitcher at this point for them.
Yeah.
This is good. This is Alexander King's new found body. So it's good that they didn't call him back up.
Yep, they made a clone of him.
So, well, yeah, I did. Let's see if Leody Taveras is here still, which he should be. Yeah, he is. New York. Got Ponce de Leon. Perfect. We still got Cecil, Baez. Nobody else called up. Paredes is down there. Jay Groom is still at AAA. That's fine. That's where he was before. The one thing I want to look at is like Michigan for Suna. He's there. Stock. Yeah, we're good there. Good there. Good there. Pittsburgh with Swihart. He's up in the starting spot now. The Breeze, didn't they got Daniel Palka. He's at the major league level. That's good. We've got the first baseman, Matt Davidson, MLB level. Good. Indiana was catcher, Santos Sanchez at AAA. That's fine. And then they also got Ian Happ. Cool. He's still there. Wisconsin with Jalen Miller. Who else did they get? They got a catcher, Ali Sanchez. We got Jake Lamb, MLB. Okay, so just good to see that we're fine here. Seattle, Riley Green making a play now. Good defense, better hitter than Jesse Franklin, so he's gonna play as a backup. Let's see, we've got starting pitching Parker Bridwell. He's entering into the rotation. This is a big one too. Dietrich, Castro, it's good.
Almost there.
Siri,
August simulation.
Diaz.
Castro's gonna be huge.
Who else did they get? They got Siri, Diaz, and who else? There's something else.
Siri Diaz.
Oh, the relief pitcher. Villasmeal. Okay, we should be good. I'm confident. I'm confident in it. What was the other big trade? It's another big trade for some teams.
You look at LA.
Oops, shoot. Manage roster.
Was
LA. Seager.
You got Michigan, yeah.
About San Francisco.
Dom T. Williams trade.
Go to Chalmers. Dom T. Williams went to Houston.
Our trade worked out, I think.
Dom T. Williams is in there, yep. Nashville had Jason Vossler. He's up. Carolina gets Ronaldo. Portland gets JT Ginn with the Dom T. Williams trade, and they also get Helio Ramos. He's going to play. Awesome. They also got Cade Cavalli, I think, too, right? Yep.
I think so.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, yep, I'm confident in it. I don't think anything was totally wacky, so we are good to go, boys and girls. There's probably only boys in here.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. So let's do it. Let's do the simulation. I'm ready for it. Wait,
ready, guys?
Wait. Hold on. I want to make sure I didn't save over Royals.
Yep.
Dude, that would end the series right there if I did that, because there's no way I can get it back. I don't have a backup for it.
Sorry, guys, we can't continue Royals.
GGBL year 2. GGBL year 2.
Year 2.
Royals. GGBL year 2. Yes, that's the one I want. Whew. Thank God. Okay, guys.
I'm excited.
Are we ready? Are we ready to go?
Royals finale. Yep, I'm ready.
Camargo's not playing a third.
We're better. Okay.
We're changing that shit right now. Anything else? Port, did you need to look at your team here?
Sure, let's look at Seattle quickly. Dominguez should be starting. Parker Bridwell should be starting as well on pitching.
I don't know. I think Peraza
should
play.
Yeah. No.
Peraza should play. Jerko is a third baseman. Candyman's a DH. That can't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're good there.
Bridwell needs to be starting.
We'll see. We'll just see how Riley Green does in Sim.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else here that made some changes? Dustin Fowler, right? Fowler. I don't know if he's going to play a lot. He's just a nice player to have for them. You got Rooker, Carroll, Broxton. Ooh, that's interesting. Broxton needs to play center field. I swear to God, dude, the show does some goofy things. Let's see. Las Vegas, they acquired Keuchel. Phoenix, that's a big one. If we're gonna do this, we got to do it right. So we got to make sure that this is correct. So Winker, LeCastro, Dietrich. Let's see, they got Stowers for LeCastro. That's probably a move I want to make. LeCastro right there in center field. But wait, no, against lefties? No, against lefties, he's got a bench. Righties, he's got to play. Oh, and he does. So he does play. All right, LeCastro's playing. He's a leadoff guy. Hits 79 contact against righties. That's fair. That's got to happen. So good on you, show. You did it. You did it right. Diaz is playing. Siri is not playing. I'd probably swap him for Hyun-Soo Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he at here? Chris Davis down there. Where's Pache, Davis, Markakis? That's fine. That's fine. Siri can be a one-trick pony there. They're fine. Miami's fine. They're not doing nothing. Velati's playing. Linares, Pollock. Pollock needs to play a little bit more, I think. So he's going to play over Tyson Diaz. I don't really care about the batting order for a bad team. They're out of it. They're not doing anything. I don't care about the batting order.
Bye-bye.
Dallas, nothing stands out to me here. I think they're fine. Nashville, Logan Morrison against righties is not playing. What is that? That can't happen. I know that Vossler might be a little bit better, right? I mean, look at the numbers, but you can't argue with the production. In Sim, you can't argue with the production.
No, you can't.
So Morrison will play, but against lefties, I think that they make that move. So where's Vossler now? So he's playing third. Okay, perfect. Dom T. Williams playing. Nice.
Hi, buddy, kid.
T. Williams playing. Nice. Mountcastle, we got to do this. Mountcastle moves to first. O'Hearn is getting replaced by Duggar. So let's see, O'Hearn. Let's see another outfielder here where we got DH possibly. Yep, Senzel's got to play center. Duggar to left.
Yep.
O'Hearn DH. Good.
Big
Mountcastle
month.
at first.
Big month.
O'Hearn at DH. LaStella at second. Jezebel Valentine will play outfield because he can. But Duggar replaced. He'll play left. Senzel in center. Canasione in right. Perfect. Joey Wendell on the bench. Oh my God. You gotta play Joey Wendell. What are you doing? Even though he's 55 contact, you gotta play him, man.
He's hot as.
It's too much thinking, man. It's just too much thinking. What about righties? Righty. Wendell at third, second. Donovan. Maybe we keep it. I don't know. I don't want to mess with it too much. Let's just keep it. Helio Ramos is playing. That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Done there.
Third base, Colton Welker of all people. Nope, we're Josh Adams. Mikey White. That's fine. They can split some time.
There you go, sports gaming, Josh. No, that's your guy.
Where's Seager? He should play. Yep, Seager. Perfect. Janil Rivera needs to get in there. He's a hitter against righties. He should be playing center field against righties.
Yeah.
Yep, he'll lead off. He's got some speed, I think. Yep, 70 speed. Smith's got 78 speed. Probably better contact. Probably better to bat him second then. All right. San Diego. Abraham Toro. Put him in the 8. Put him in the 8 again. And they acquired a pitcher, so they're fine. Nothing happening there that needs to change too much. Don't look like it. Washington. So this is the one we got to fix up too. So Taylor, okay, he needs to be playing the outfield. That's Brock Holt in left. Ray in center. Right is Torner. Although, let's see. Yep, that's okay. Benson can DH. Zanino and Mike Jackson. Wow, Zanino's not playing? Who? What? Hold on a second. 11. Hold up a second. Oh, did we got a glitch here too? Mike Zanino, MLB The Show, player card, 2021. There's no way. 11 contact.
That's a glitch.
Dude, I don't think I moved him up. No, it's right.
Yeah.
He has a 12 contact against righties.
What?
He has a 12 contact against righties. Okay. All right.
Okay, Mike Zanino.
We're gonna make him the DH. Oh my god. Not against righties.
Oh.
Don't forget that. Sorry. We're not doing that. Where's Will Benson? My bad. He's got to play against lefties.
Yeah, for sure.
Does he get in? Where is he? There he is. Okay. Whew. That scared me for a minute. I'm like, did I just actively just screw Washington this year, man? They had
Alexander King
Alexander
and now
King just get blown up. They had
Zanino.
Yep, I felt bad about that. DeMarcus King, that's an interesting call. Do we play DeMarcus King now?
It's your choice.
No.
Good.
I don't think that they're in the position to do it.
Okay.
Unfortunately. All right, so we got Judge, McCutchen. I think Swihart can play left for McCutchen now. And we'll get, actually, we'll put Swihart at DH, and we'll get McCutchen in there. Whoops, what did I just do? Swihart at DH, McCutchen in left, and Sean Kingery. Actually, McCutchen's defense is so bad. And so is Swihart's. So I guess that's why they're doing that.
Quest. So I finished my Road to Glory High School regular season, and we're still up. Word.
Yeah, man. What'd you expect, man? We go hard on this channel.
We do.
We go hard on this freaking channel, Quest. Don't ever forget it.
Quest.
I still think Rowdy Talese needs to play. I know Rangel Ravello's having a good year, but you gotta play Rowdy Talese, man. You have to. And get this man to play shortstop. Damn it! Look at Ethan Letterman.
This man.
Actually, Mendick is better. He's better as a DH, isn't he? Xavier Edwards. I wonder if you get Letterman. I wonder if you get Xavier Edwards out of the lineup. You leave Mendick at short, you put Letterman at second, you get Xavier Edwards out of the lineup, and you get Telez.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to work with Chicago.
Yeah.
How bad they are.
I think that's the move. Letterman, Mendick, Telez, and Ravello. Yeah, okay.
11 games
All right.
left.
Let's see. What did they get here? Is this wait? They got Matt Davidson as a DH. Wilmer Flores, Davis, Rengifo. Matt Davidson. Let's see. 73 power, 68 power. Let's do that. Let's get Davidson in there. Rengifo can.
I love how Quest is like 11 games played though, and it'd still be going though. Sheesh.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Maybe we'll get through your high school playoffs as well. Davidson, yeah. I like the Davidson move. Peanuts McLovin.
Where's Ian Happ now? Ian Happ's in center. Dolis Garcia.
Tricked you all. I think we didn't want him. We had Bonifacio waiting in the wing, and Dominguez and Green now.
They had Jake Lamb and who else? Miasis. Okay, Miasis is playing. All right, well then that should do it then. I mean, we got through every team right there. So.
Yes. Alrighty, guys. I've given up on it, lol. Taking a break.
All right. Yep, we're good. Okay.
Alrighty.
Here we go. The moment of truth. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. You know what? Do this. Send me an email right now. Send me an email to goldglover009@gmail.com. Do it right now, guys. Do it right now so that I don't have to track everybody down. But email me at this address. And you let me know that you made it till the end. I'm going to timestamp these. So at midnight, when the clock strikes midnight, if I get an email after midnight in my inbox, I'm not going to count it because people can just come in and say, oh, yeah, I watched 5 minutes of it, but I was actually here the whole time. No, you weren't. So you guys email me right now to that email address and let me know that you made it the whole way through, that you watched it. You're here at 11:53. And you guys get a custom prospect for year 2. So if you have like more than one prospect, cool, awesome. You might have 3, you might have 2, you might have 4. I don't know, like Portugal, lucky bastard. So we're done. We are done. CPU roster control, everything's cleared up. Pitching rotations are good. We are ready to rock and roll. So standings updates. NL West. We're gonna actually NL East. Blue Sox, Good Boys, Moonshots, Sting and Flight, Copperheads 5.5 games up. Maroons 9 games back. Tight race in the NL for the wild card spot. Knights, Grizzlies, Yotes. A lot of teams hanging in there right now. AL.
I'm excited.
Absolutely stacked right now. All these teams have a chance. Cardinals at the top. Rams 7 games back of those Columbus Cardinals, but even the Jacks have a chance to make a push. Firebirds, Nuggets, Spirit, Emeralds, Hawks, all these teams here also have a chance to make a shot at the playoffs. 10 games back for the Breeze, which
I think the Hawks are like 4 games off of the wild card,
yeah.
which is insane as last place in that division.
So here we go. We're simulating the entire month of August. All trades have been processed.
Oh, no.
Moment of truth. When I hit the Y button, it's going to go. Portugal.
No.
Are you ready? Guys,
I'm ready.
Chat. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is a huge month, dude, because once we get into September gameplay,
I'm ready.
Ooh, this is make or break right here. Let's do it.
I'm ready.
Boom. The good boys winning a bunch of games. Now we're losing a bunch of games. No!
Yeah.
We had a good little run there, man. We're 65 and 61 right now. So I'm anxious. But take a look at the San Francisco Grizzlies. 71 and 57 now. They have made a humongous push. Let's find out what the standings look like, guys. So the sting and the flight
I'm going to mute
still
you just
down
so I
there.
can watch it live.
Moonshots got a little bit better, it looks like. They're 60 and 68. But the Blue Sox, 8 and 2 in their last 10. They're still in first place. They're 76 and 51. That's your snapshot for the NL East going into Friday streams to finish off September and October. We're going to finish the whole season on Friday. NL Central, the Heat. Let's go. Let's go. The Heat are 73 and 54. Oh my goodness. Look at the pitching staff, guys. 459 runs against them. And look the Copperheads are the closest team there at 501, but everybody else they're just shellacking them, man. 521 runs scored. The Swing have totally dropped off too, by the way. 58 and 68, so it didn't look like that trade for Duggar helped them. The Hatters 61 and 67. The Maroons are still playing good baseball. Copperheads still playing good baseball. But the NL West is just a bloodbath, man. The Knights and the Grizzlies, 82 and 47 for the Knights right now. The Grizz hanging in there, man. They're hanging in. Coyotes still playing under 500, but 61 and 66. I would assume they're in the playoff mix as a wild card. But yeah, so a lot is left to happen, guys. But the pack is starting to spread out a little bit. You can see here. So Grizzlies, it's kind of like maybe a 4-team race in my opinion. 8 games is a lot for the Coyotes. They're going to have to get on a run. You can say the same thing with the Hatters. But good boys, Maroons, Copperheads, Grizzlies, made some good trades, made some good moves to kind of separate themselves out. Let's take a look at the AL East. We've got the Pizzaz and the Swamp Monsters have come all the way back. They're now 500. So you got to wonder if Alexander King has really stepped his game up after the glitch has been taken care of. But the Pizzaz,
tough division,
67 and 60. But the Mallards,
62 and 64 for the Mallards.
A little under 500 there, so they've lost 4 games in a row. But again, it's just so tightly packed. The Hammers at 500 too, crazy. AL Central, the Rams under 500 now, 62 and 65. Breeze, the Breeze have come back. Oh my God, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it, aren't they?
The Breeze!
They're going to do
From
it.
the dead!
Last place in the AL in July, and now they're in 3rd place in the Central. So they moved on from people, They moved on from guys, and they acquired some good pieces by the looks of it. That's crazy to me. 9 and 1. Holy crap. All right, so let's go to the AL West and the Emeralds, man. There you go, Port. 61 and 65 right now, but they're not out of it. Look at it's so close again. They're hanging in there. The West between the West in the AL and the AL East
no.
is so tight. Firebirds still hanging on at 68 and 59. The Nuggets still hanging in too. The Spirit though, I'm really surprised at the Spirit. They're holding on strong. Wild card look, we've got the oh my god. This is gonna be insane. How many teams are oh my god. The Breeze are 3.5 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
We got
7,
3 in
8.
a row. Oh my god.
Dude, this is gonna
It's
be
insane.
nuts.
I had to delay it just to see the Emerald's record just live on camera. Oh,
This is gonna be nuts.
oh, oh. We're still in it, which is good.
Yeah.
We're still in it.
Oh boy, yeah, this is gonna be crazy, man. This is gonna be crazy. A run.
You know what sucks?
What do you guys think?
You know what's well? Here's my thoughts. You know what sucks is that we're 3 games back and we've lost 3 straight. So we were in the wild card position.
James
I
Rose
know
8
that.
and 10, by the way. Let's see what KJ is doing. He's down to 313, 24, 75. So he's all right. He's pulling his own.
Yeah.
But what seems to be the issue here? Urias is down to 298. Monroe 4.3. Rodriguez actually pulled his ERA down. Bridwell's been good for you guys. 288. Mitchell's still upwards of 5. Quo is seeing some regression big time there at 5.6. So guys, when we move into September now, we're up to September call-ups now at this point. So you can see the active side 26 to 28. So we can call people up and call people down at this point, which will be a Friday opener. I'm not going to do that here because we're way past that. But let's see what's Riley Green done for you? 263, 19 at bats. Take it. Dominguez 262.
Yeah. I think we're the best rated team in MLB, by the way, because the Blue Sox are number 2 now. So that's a sucker punch.
I mean, it's hard to tell how these stats changed from the whole season to this month, but it looks like we're not seeing guys on cold streaks here. Nothing happening crazy for the Firebirds. But Lewin Diaz, 282, 3 homers, 10 ribbies for the Sting. That seems like it was a good trade for them. William Murphy now to a 205. He needs more playing time, so we'll get that fixed in September, October. But Siri, again, kind of hard to tell, but because he was playing for a while. I'm anxious to see what that reliever's doing here. 185. Dude, let's go. I love this. These trades, man, it all worked out for these teams. I love it. 185 and 0.99. That's beautiful. I love that. It makes me happy that I helped some teams.
Yeah.
you guys did too. Proving those. It was a team effort for sure. O'Neal Cruz 211. Malcolm Nunez down to AAA 276. Hard to tell with Camargo. Pollock 165. He's trying to find his way. What else we got here?
Feel bad for the NL. There's like 4 teams that can realistically make the playoffs, and the AL is like every team.
Velati 254. I think that's what he was doing before.
Same.
We don't need to look at Carolina here real quick because we know what they're doing. Actually, you know what? Let's look at Carolina real quick. What's Reynaldo doing? Playing better. He's 8 and 10. No, maybe not. He's 8 and 10. So he was 7 and 7 on the bad team, but Dallas, not much to see there. What is Vossler doing now? 230. Riddle's actually playing better. He's up to 234, so that hot streak was legit. Don T. Williams, 250. He's up to 21 homers. Wasn't he have like 15 at that point? So he's contributing. He's pulling his own weight. Duggar, 255. Let's see what Maz is doing here. 270, 21.
Trades are all working out.
What did they got Jake Arrieta, didn't they? He's up to a 71, so he's still pitching well. He got an increase. He got a bump.
Nice.
So Arrieta is not in the rotation, but yeah, he did get a little bit of a bump there. Let's keep going. What else we got? Helio Ramos, right? Ramos, 269, 4 homers.
Whew.
I'm taking it,
Nice.
man. I'm taking it. I love these trades that happen for these guys. You got Cake.
I think, I think what's happened here is it's kind of stayed the same, but it's because all the trades worked.
Yeah.
Except the Osuna trade. That's a big one because Michigan's in last in their division and Chicago has stormed back.
Which we knew it kind of would, right? Look at Toro, by the way. 1 homer, 16 ribbies, 255. Are you taking that over Davis Wenzel? Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, man. So Toro is getting some playing time, and he's helping out San Diego.
That'd be
Phil's up to
good.
250, by the way. 9 homers, 52 ribbies. Brock Holt at 288 since moving to the outfield. He's hitting better since moving to the outfield.
Nice.
What did they get? They got Jacob Nix, right? What's he doing? He's at a 4.3 now, so he's kind of gotten hit hard. Boston got Leody Taveras. Nothing really happening there. What did New York get? New York got Ponce de Leon, right? He was at like a 4.1. So he's helping. So at least it's been consistent. It's not upwards of 5 at this point, right?
Right.
Let's see. Swihart is up to a 74, so he's at a little bit of regression. He was at 75. No, he's no regression overall. Wait, he was a 75. Now he's a 74. It might be a morale thing. Nope. Weird. But Michigan with Osuna. What's he doing?
Probably
408.
speed and steal.
He was upwards of 5. I didn't show his stats. I didn't want to skew the results. But he was upwards of he was at like a 5.4, not a 4.08. He's doing all right.
Yeah, but it's not worked out for Michigan in the way they'd hope.
Palka's turned his season around, change of scenery. He's up to 270 now.
That's a big reason why
That's
Chicago's
huge.
been on the run then.
What is Ravello? Ravello's 19 and Talese is 318, 10 homers.
They have the starting pitcher guy as
Letterman
well.
22. Who?
Kloffenstein, yeah.
It's been all right. 17,
Okay.
11.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. He's doing what he has to. And then Matt Davidson, 205, 15 homers.
Developing him.
All right.
Yeah.
Who else? Ian Happ, 289, 18. Wisconsin, what did they get? They got Jalen Miller, 258. He's gonna take over the job. I think that's what we needed to do. We needed to do that for September's move Jalen Miller over Kevin Kramer. Sanchez 221. He should be playing over Winston Sawyer at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Lobo, since getting more time, he's at 228. What about Miasis? Every time I give this guy a chance, it just...
Let me look. Oh no.
137.
Wow.
It's brutal.
Wow.
What about our boy here, Kevin Smith, hitting 305? What an Oklahoma type of player, man. Kevin Smith.
Evan Smith.
Keuchel, 378.
I think he'd put that down a bit. He was at a 4.8, if I remember.
It was
Could be
something like that.
3.8.
It was like 3.8 or 4.8 or something. I don't remember quite.
Yeah,
But...
I'm exact. Yeah, it was 3.8 or like early 4s. So he's done well.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna look real quick at the most valuable player. We'll look at some awards, and we'll be ending with this podcast. A 3-hour podcast looks like, right? Yeah, it's officially hit 3 hours now. So we got Bobby Bradley at second place here for the AL. NL, we got Conforto, Soto at 343. Remember, I had asked the question for you guys if you thought that Soto was going to hit 400 on the year. It's dropped to 60 batting points, so he's having a little bit of a struggle there. I mean, you got to think of that. Yeah, he's hitting 343, but most of the damage has been done at the beginning, right?
Yeah,
so
true.
When you're hitting 400 by the All-Star break, and then now you're at 343, like you've totally like hit a wall. Cy Young, you got Bieber, Glasnow, Benjamin, Garrett Cole, Syndergaard, and Espino. Look at this. The Central is just stacked with pitching. It's nice to see. Batting title AL for Bohm. KAJ is in the mix for batting title.
Thank you.
Winker, Soto, Marte, and Hastley. Adam freaking Hastley, dude. In there for the batting title. That's crazy. What about Rookie of the Year? Aiden Oliver. That's not surprising to me at all. Actually,
Yeah.
For AL. 24 homers. Luigi Mazza, Ruth, and Davis. Good little mix there for that.
Bandito's out of it.
Gold Glove pitcher. It's kind of tough. He might be in the mix for Gold Glove outfielder at that point, too. Rosens, Wilson, Tyson Diaz, DG.
DG.
Dom T. Williams,
Legend.
good defender. Silver Slugger
Rosens. That's
pitcher.
good for Philly.
Like that. Let's see. Gold Glove pitcher, Roark, Sandoval Roberts, Vasquez, McGuire. Connor Altman, custom player.
Yeah.
Lindor, Stott, Correa, Bendito, Gold Glove center fielder.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
And then
He's
Ethan
up there.
Letterman, Silver Slugger. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it. So if you wanted to see anything specific, let me know in the comment section real quick. I'm reading them right now. Good boys are clicking on. Heater winning the division, man. Hatter's really struggling. Hey, it'd be the fighting Foghorn Leghorns. Swamp Monsters bringing it back. Juicebox 8-game win streak. Let's go, Chicago, baby. AL is close. AL sends 15 to the playoffs. I wonder how Francisco Porte is doing.
Yeah, check up on him.
We'll take a look at Francisco Porte.
I'm heartbroken
Not
by
bad,
Seattle.
man. 397 and 107. That's not bad at all.
That's actually really. He's improved since last month. I remember it. He's improved. I'm pretty sure.
Josh says, what's the situation in the Coyotes? Because they seem to keep stalling at even to below teams. So, yeah, let's take a look at the Coyotes here.
Aiden Oliver and I have an interesting relationship, with both of us being on the Maples, and he and Matthew Hawk hooking up in a few of those Anchorage Expedition games.
It is interesting, isn't it? But it looks like Cool and Cueto. No, Cueto's been fine, but it looks like it's just that 3-4-5 situation again.
Yeah, it's a pitching.
It's
Juicebox.
pitching. Yeah.
Juicebox said, "Can we see the fly?" And the icon Rashard Bolden said, "DeMarcus King and the Pizzaz."
Looks like the off. Yeah. Well, yep. I can show those. Looks like the offense. There's Josh Adams now hitting 348. So when he was getting playing time against lefties, he's mashing right now. So 348. He's doing his thing.
Wow.
Who was it? DeMarcus King, right?
DeMarcus King, and then Juicebox said the fly.
King's hitting a hot streak here too, 346.
Ooh.
I didn't see that he could play outfield, by the way. I did not see that, but outfield's loaded. You got Delmonico, Harper, and Ramirez.
Harper.
So. But I think is it time? I mean, King's not that bad defensively.
What's Mayer? What's Mayer hitting?
But he is hitting 212.
It's time.
It's time. Get some power there.
He's slightly worse on fielding, but he's hitting better, like so much better. I know it's at 52 at bats, but he's going to give more offense to that team.
Right. He's gonna get some more pop for him for sure.
Right. Yeah.
All right. DeMarcus King's in there, man. 346, 52.
He's deserved it. He I think players that kind of on the edge like he deserves to be on there because he's kept up his pace in limited appearances.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah,
Flights. What's their situation like? They are
bad.
Tyler Anderson is really good, by the way. He should have been on the move, but he's under contract till 2026, so they feel like with him being 32, they can hang on and with their young guys. Grayson Rodriguez still not pitching. What is that? I don't get it. Is the AAA season over or something? No, I didn't think it was.
Showing him more base stats.
Why would I? Do I move him down to 2 and see if that helps him? I just don't know what the answer to that is. I don't know how to respond to it. Patrick Murphy though getting lit up. Ugh, that sucks.
We gotta respect this. Sequestral, can I look at Buck Pearson again?
Yes, looks like the catching is bad. Hamilton, Chadwick Tromp is not good. Miguel Vargas not doing anything. Linares hitting 200. Pollock 165. It's the offense right now, big time. 232. Velade 234. Yeah, David Dahl. Not a lot of protection for David Dahl. He can't really come through, so he'd actually be putting up a lot better numbers if he had somebody behind him. But 2376 and 265. They need some offense badly. Pena 293. Santana 223. So yeah, they've got some problems on offense for sure. But it's why you sell. You got to grind through it. Buck Pearson's not doing too bad in AAA. 240, 7 homers, 27.
Nice.
He'll be a September call-up. He's going to be a guy that gets up there. Jonah Heim, they thought Jonah Heim was going to, like, replace what Pearson was doing. Remember, look at what Pearson was doing. He was batting .029. So you had to move him down. .029.
Yeah. What the hell? Oh my god. We've got one more request. It's from
Where?
Portugal 554.
Oh yeah,
he
that's
says,
you. That's you, huh?
He put it in chat. Look at the Seattle Emeralds standing if they are the number 1 team according to MLB The Show. I need to know this before. I don't even need to look at the team. I just go to the standings and just see if they're number 1. I don't even want to look at that team anymore.
But
I just want to.
You're 4th in pitching.
Oh, we're actually first. I'm done. We're 4th in pitching. Well, where's the pitching bin, man? Where's the pitching bin?
Where's the pitching bin?
Where's the pitching bin, man?
Look.
Oh my god.
Look, here's the pitching, right? So you've got
I love our pitching.
ERA. Don't you think it's funny how the teams that are in 1st and 2nd, the Nashville Heat and the Firebirds, dude, that is the championship that I want. I want the Heat and the Firebirds. Definitely. That's who I want in this year's.
Just scroll down. I'm ready.
But if you're 4th in pitching, then what's going on here? 28th. So let's mix it up, right? So 28th in ERA. How many runs?
Who's worse? Oklahoma and New Orleans. Okay.
Hits allowed.
Oh my god. Poor.
18th in hits allowed.
You're with me, Lucas, because you've got a prospect on Seattle.
24th. So it's runs, it's ERA. What about earned runs? Earned runs is still bad. I was wondering if there's going to be a difference between like the errors. How many errors, by the way?
Maybe I should just make another starting pitching prospect and just hope he gets drafted by Seattle.
Oh no! Oh, we're first. We're really good defensively. That's good. Good boys. Errors. That's the issue, guys. Look. For the Coyotes, they have 84. They're last in errors.
Wow.
For Seattle, you guys are 20th. 69 errors.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk later. We'll see how Bonifacio. I don't want to stretch out the stream, but Bonifacio and Peraza. We'll see if Dominguez gets a call.
Luke, we already showed Francisco Forte. You missed it.
I'm getting. Oh no, he just said that because he's like Francisco Porte. Hopefully, he isn't sucking.
No, he wants to see him again. 397, 107. He missed it. He wasn't paying attention. Let's see. Yeah. Gold wants to get spicy in the series, says Quest. You know it, man. You know it. Firebirds and Heat, man. That's who I want. But I mean, ultimately, I don't even know if I want the good boys to make it. Honestly, dude, I don't even know if I want to make it because we'll just lose in the first round. It doesn't matter. So, guys, that's it for tonight. 3 hours, 3 hours stream. I know it's loaded. I will be posting timestamps for you guys to get through this entire beast of a video. On the title of this video, I'm gonna say like, "Don't be scared." That's gonna be literally the title of this video. Don't be scared. Open this.
Don't be scared.
And then a pinned comment with all the timestamps and let you guys know that where you can find certain spots. So I will do that tomorrow. I'm not doing that tonight. I got to get to sleep. I got to work in the morning. So Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for your input. I really appreciate it. I'm going to say it again like I always do. Whenever somebody, it's a very humbling thing when you put a lot of work into something and other people love it just as much, that they want to hang out with you and do this with you. So I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching this and supporting the series. It's gonna be fun. On Friday, we'll do all of the simulation for September and October. Now, it might be a really loaded day Friday.
I
Seriously.
think it will be.
Because we want to
Wink,
see
wink. The AL.
for sure. It's there's a lot of interesting matchups. Like I don't know which one to show. Like it's just cool to see. Like, do we show Seattle against Chicago?
Like you would say, oh, Seattle, you shouldn't show Seattle, but like Seattle's 3 games back. It's insane. And Chicago, you could show Chicago because of you could show any AL team. It's absolutely insane. It's more insane than year one, I'd say.
For sure. And even because there's even more games to be played down here. And it's one of those things also because I don't want to get to this point. Like, I don't want to simulate all the way to here to this Minnesota series and then find out that Seattle's just fallen off of it and they're out of it. That's that's not entertaining. So this would get you a more clear picture as to the playoffs, but we want to see the crazy. So we might even end up seeing Seattle twice. We might even see Las Vegas twice, depending on what the matchups are in here. So it's gonna be a crazy Friday stream. So I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna try to do it at 4:00 as normal, and we'll just go all freaking night for it. So guys, leave a like if you like this thing, and I will see you on Friday streams over on Twitch starting at 4. And I'll have to look at the standings and determine what that schedule is going to look like. But I will also be posting that in the comment section below so you guys are aware of when you would expect these games to be played. Again, I can't schedule things out too far, like down here or even in October. Who knows? We might get a game 163. We'll just have to find out. So, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching and tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. As always, peace.
Have a good night, guys. Peace.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to Port. Thank you to Luke. I know he tried to get in it. Thank you, Luke. And thank you guys for joining in on the discussion, too. So, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. See you guys.